pit lane, would you believe it? New Zealand come through to take their first ever win in A1GP. But he got round the outside in turn one. What a manoeuvre! No, we've got a big accident behind.
Trouble in turn one, South Africa.
Mayhem! Mayhem! It's a pit lane!
Contact.
Germany going side by side with Team GBR!
After a dramatic season finale at Brands Hatch, the A1GP teams headed to the Royal Courts of Justice in London for the prestigious end-of-season awards ceremony. For the drivers, it was a rare chance to swap their overalls for a more traditional look.
Oh, it's so posh, man.
And there was a surprise special guest at the awards to present the World Cup of Motorsport trophy. None other than seven-time Formula One world champion Michael Schumacher handed the award to newly crowned champions, A1 Team Germany.
But which of the 22 teams and drivers would be setting the pace during Season 3 of A1GP?
After their championship success, Germany promoted 18-year-old Christian Vittoris to lead their title defence.
Last year's runner-up, New Zealand, confirmed three-time A1GP race winner Johnny Reid for a full season at the wheel of the Black Beauty.
Season 2 saw both Oliver Jarvis and Robbie Kerr take race wins for Great Britain, and they'd continue to share the drive over the coming season.
The big news at France was the arrival of Nicolas Frost, son of four-time Formula One world champion Alain Prost. He joined the team alongside regular drivers Nicolas Lapierre and Loic Duval.
The Netherlands' Jeroen Bleekemolen scored a single race win during Season 2, and he was back at the wheel of the team's newly liveried car.
Whilst four-time A1GP race winner Alex Young was once again confirmed to lead the Malaysia team.
Beijing feature race winner Enrico Toccacello returned to head Italy's challenge.
Whilst another former race winner, Neil Yarni, made a full-time return to the series for Switzerland.
Team USA are still looking for their first win, and experienced Indy 500 winner Buddy Rice was brought in to lead the team.
The most successful nation from the Americas has been Mexico, and two-time race winner Salvador Duran was confirmed for the season opener at Xanvort.
Canadian driver James Hinchcliffe impressed with several strong drives last season, and he was back to lead Canada's challenge.
Whilst an accident over the summer for lead driver Thomas Enger meant that Eric Yanis was given a chance in the Czech car.
Australia's Ian Dyke impressed with a podium in his first race in Mexico, and he was rewarded with the full-time race seat.
As was last year's Xanvort sprint race winner Adrian Zhao, who was confirmed at the wheel of the South African car.
China were the most improved team in A1GP last season, and Kung Fu Chang was given the opportunity to build on the team's remarkable progress.
Ex-Formula One racer Narain Karthikeyan only just missed out on India's first A1GP podium last season, and he was determined to become a regular frontrunner.
Portugal returned to the series last year, and they drafted in young racer João Urbano to lead their challenge.
One of the disappointments of last season was Brazil, and newcomer Sergio Jimenez was hoping to revive the team's fortunes.
Ireland also endured a torrid season too, and they confirmed Adam Carroll as team leader, with Ralph Furman stepping in for the season opener in Zandvoort.
Satrio Hermanto was the new face at Indonesia, and he was hoping to improve on the single points scored by the team last year.
That same challenge also faced Adam Khan, who returned to the Pakistan car after a year away at university.
Finally, Lebanon confirmed Chris Alajajian and Khalil Bashir would share driving duties in the team's quest to score their first ever point in A1GP.
Set alongside the north coast beaches of the Netherlands, the spectacular Xanvort Circuit was the location for round one of the World Cup of Motorsport. The fans who braved the early morning cold and rain saw some spectacular action as the A1GP drivers struggled to get to grips with the treacherous track conditions. For the new season, the grid for both sprint and feature races will be decided over separate qualifying sessions, and here at Xanvort it was South Africa's Adrian Zaug who dominated, taking pole position for both races.
I'm starting from the best position, so I only got to lose tomorrow, so I will just try to defend that into the first turn and then just take as much points as possible. And definitely in the wet it will be quite tricky because it's very easy to make mistakes, but it's the same for everyone. Just have to be concentrated and try to do the best.
Race day at Xanvort saw the crowds pack the circuit's famous sand dunes to watch an early morning demonstration by Dutch rookie Arie Dyke Jr. Team leader Jeroen Blekemolen was equally busy, joining the other drivers as they met many of the fans at the driver's autograph session.
The lineup for the first sprint race of the year sees South Africa on pole position ahead of Team France, with Mexico and Switzerland on the second row of the grid. The host nation Team Netherlands starts from 5th place. Reigning title holders Germany are 6th. Series 2 runners-up New Zealand are 8th. Their big rivals Great Britain are 10th. And further down than expected, Team China in 15th. At the back, Team Canada in 21st. Conditions looking pretty good as the cars go away on their formation lap, but problems for Team Australia. Ian Dyke's car is being pushed away. Disaster for the Australians. It's the opening race of season 3, and Adrian Zaug leads them onto the start-finish straight, and they're on the attack already. On board with Loic Duval attacking for France. He's coming down the outside. Look at Salvador Duran on the inside. He almost hits the pit wall, but it's South Africa that takes the lead into Tarzan for the first time. Ralph Furman for Team Ireland on a charge himself through that Tarzan corner. The pack looks wild, but in fact it's clean through there, and we're on board now. Jeroen Blekemolen, who snatches a place. That's 4th position for the Dutch car, and that should keep the home fans happy. Jan Lammers can barely watch as he sees Blekemolen go on the attack. He's now going for 3rd place up against Team Mexico. Here comes Blekemolen. He's down the inside. Can he make the move stick? Yes, he can. Through he goes. The Dutch fans go crazy. He's into 3rd place. Race leader South Africa, Adrian Zaug, has built up a healthy lead here. Dutch car still chasing down the French machine, but I wonder if he's going to find a way through. Oliver Jarvis here on the attack as well, trying to get past Johnny Reid. It's Great Britain versus New Zealand, and it looks to me as though Great Britain might be able to nip through. He's going for 8th place here, trying to go around the outside. That's a brave attempt. Oh, and I think he's done it. Jarvis through, great move, round the outside through one corner, grabs the inside for the next, and he's into 8th position. Great Britain on a charge, going past Ireland, or is he? Ralph Furman fights it, but no, he can't do anything. That's 7th now for Oliver Jarvis, and Ireland are pushed back one. Into the final stages now, though, and Great Britain running out of time to try and grab another place. Oliver Jarvis trying to get past Team Germany, but I don't think he's going to be able to do it because we're into the closing stages. It's looking very, very good for South Africa to take victory in the first race of the season. Zaug wins. South Africa wins the first race of season 3. The winning margin is over 7 seconds, while Loic Duval holds on to 2nd for France, and the Dutch have a bronze medal to celebrate courtesy of Blekemolen. India's Narain Karthikeyan picked up the final point in 10th.
A1GP is not only about close racing. As the teams prepared for the afternoon's feature race, there was plenty to keep the thousands of race fans entertained.
The grid for the feature sees Germany joining South Africa up front, with Great Britain and Switzerland on the second row just behind. Mexico start back in 8th position for this one, but local hero Blekemolen has even more to do this time. He's coming from 11th place on the grid. American driver Buddy Rice starts only his 2nd ever A1GP race from 19th. Late September sunshine in the Netherlands. Blue skies provide the perfect backdrop as the fans get ready for action. Away we go then, and South Africa away pretty quickly there from the front of the grid once again. The attacking is going on behind. Germany looking for a way through as well. Great Britain on the inside there, trying to get past Neil Yarni of Switzerland. Germany has grabbed 2nd place. Blekemolen, a big squeeze that wide. Too wide. He's lost places. Oh, the fans won't like that. Meanwhile, up front, it is South Africa with that advantage. Look how close it is behind the multicolours of A1GP. But here comes Jarvis on Germany. Great Britain trying to take second place here and going for it down the outside. And I'm not sure that Christian Vittoris can do anything about it. Jarvis sweeping round the outside. Great move that for Great Britain into second place. Oh, bang goes João Urbano. Well, that's the first crash of the season, and it's to the Portuguese team. Problems here for Alex Young. Looks as though the Malaysian team in trouble. He could be heading for retirement. Into the pits then. Great Britain in relatively early. It's the first round of pit stops of the new season. It's frantic down in pit lane. All the teams sending their cars back out again. South Africa trying to hold on to that advantage they had. Back out on brand new tyres. Here comes Adrian Zhao. But as he comes back onto the circuit, it looks to me as though Great Britain is ahead. Yes, Great Britain is ahead of South Africa, so they've lost out there. Germany now running in fifth position. Oh, spinner, that's Lebanon. That's Chris Alajajian, but he gets going again. Good recovery. Malaysia are out of this race. We saw those problems earlier, and it is all over for them. Germany under attack now, under pressure from Mexico, and here comes Salvador Duran. That's into fifth place. Germany running a bit wide, and I think they've got a bit of a problem. It's a bit slow in a straight line, that German car, and there's a lot of thinking going on down there. Battle for fourth now. New Zealand under attack from Mexico, and the Black Beauty cannot fend off Salvador Duran. He's through. Mexico takes fourth place. Into the pits, India, into the pit garage, no less. I think it's game over. Ireland versus France. This is for seventh place. Ralph Furman versus Loic Duval, and now it's Duval taking the outside line. And there's some satisfaction on the French pit wall. Ireland now under attack from the Netherlands. Interesting this, Blake Mullen trying to recover after a bit of a poor qualifying session. And Furman wanting to keep him behind, but here comes Jeroen Blake Mullen with people power, and he's through. Great move from the Dutch driver, but Ralph Furman has not given up yet. Moving back to the outside on the long run down towards Tarzan corner, trying to sweep round the outside. We've seen a few people almost pull this manoeuvre off. Can Furman do it? Well, he's halfway there. He might still do it yet, but now they've got a little right-hander coming up. Oh, and finally, he has to give best. More battles going on here. Look at this, New Zealand versus Germany and France. This is getting very, very tight as they all head down into Tarzan corner. France trying to go around the outside of Germany, and that is Loic Duval, yes, doing it, managing to get past Christian Vittoris. Well, the Dutch car now on a charge itself. Look how Germany under more pressure once again, and Blake Mullen again taking advantage of that German car struggling in a straight line. The Netherlands into seventh. Lebanon are out, and Chris Alajajian is a retirement. Big slide from Johnny Reid as he's under attack from Team France. Great stuff between these two top nations. Duval's going for it. Duval's down the inside, sneaking alongside the pit wall. That's it, he's into fifth place. We're into the second round of pit stops. All new for season 3, a second round of pit stops in the feature race, and it's Great Britain coming in early. Teams have been working so hard over the winter to make sure that the 2 pit stops go according to plan. Jarvis is on his way, looking good. South Africa on their way as well. But it looks to me as though he was just that bit too far behind. Both crews faultless, there'll be no change up front. Here comes Furman on the attack again on Blake Mullen, and he retakes that place that he lost early in the race.
Might as well just try it
Canada's
somewhere.
James Hinchcliffe out of it. That's a great shame on his return to A1GP. Here comes Ireland again. Oh, look at this, touching wheels in a straight line. That's 6th place Ralph Furman's taken. But at the end of a fantastic feature race for Oliver Jarvis from Team Great Britain, it's victory in the second race of the season, the first feature race of the year. Great Britain wins after a tremendous team effort. The Union flag flies proudly all around this Xanvort Circuit as Jarvis celebrates. Zaug takes second place. That means South Africa has the early championship lead. Neil Yarni takes the final podium spot for Switzerland ahead of Mexico and France, while Vittorius limped home to ninth ahead of Eric Yanis of the Czech Republic. Jarvis celebrates his win. South Africa, their championship lead. But what's this? Blake Mullen, well, he knows how to thank the thousands of fanatical supporters who've turned up here at Zandvoort today.
After a short break, the A1GP drivers moved east across Europe to the picturesque city of Prague, capital of the Czech Republic. Local drivers Thomas Enger and Eric Yanis met up with some well-known faces from the A1GP paddock before taking the train to the city of Brno, host to round 2 of the series. Despite the cold conditions, the local fans turned out to greet not only the drivers, but also the 22 A1GP grid girls who were competing this weekend for the coveted title of Miss A1GP Brno. On track, Mexico announced the first driver change of the season, with the experienced Michel Jourdain Jr. joining the team for the weekend. As sprint race qualifying got underway, it was South Africa's Adrian Zaug who once again dominated, taking his third consecutive pole position of the season.
I was quite confident in my engineer and the team that we will do a good job, and that's what we did at the end, so very pleased with the result.
Further down the grid, the big surprise of qualifying was last year's double race winners Malaysia. This spin left Alex Young down in 18th for the sprint race, and worse was to follow in the feature race qualifying, as he failed to set a time, putting him last on the grid. The Netherlands' Jeroen Blekemolen was another spinner, but he went on to set a stunning time in feature race qualifying to secure pole and end South Africa's qualifying domination.
Well, it went really well. You know, we had a different strategy to most of the teams, so we weren't running with 2 new sets of tires for the sprint race. For the feature race, we got it all right, and I'm happy to be in pole there.
So the lineup for the sprint race in Brno has Zaug on pole position from Reed of New Zealand, Robbie Kerr of Great Britain and debutant Adam Carroll for Team Ireland on the second row. Blake Mullen is 5th, Nicolas Lapierre returns for Team France and lines up in 10th position, while Michel Jourdain is 15th for Mexico and James Hinchcliffe is 20th for Team Canada. It's a beautiful crisp autumn day in Eastern Europe. 22 nations prepare for 10 laps around this 5.4 kilometre track in the southeast of the Czech Republic. Zaug goes, but so do the others. Everybody going for it, many of them on power boost. Here comes Great Britain, Robbie Kerr down the inside, New Zealand going out, so does Adam Carroll, almost 4 abreast momentarily into turn 1, but it's New Zealand that snatched the lead. Oh, there's a bump in the middle of the pack. That's India climbing up the back of somebody, and a clash between Robbie Kerr and Adam Carroll on the exit of the first corner. Somebody kicking up the dust. There's India dropping back in the middle of the pack after that contact at turn 1. New Zealand leads. Great Britain versus Ireland, the battle for second place. Robbie Kerr and Adam Carroll are at it, wheel to wheel. Wonderful stuff. Oh, Carroll runs wide. He's on the grass, and Great Britain into second place. And now Adam Carroll coming under pressure from South Africa's Adrian Zaug. Not away well at the start of this one, and now trying to re-challenge for that position. Well, Adam Carroll's making his debut in A1GP, and he's learning all about the series. Great stuff from him so far. Let's see if he can keep it up. Oh, we've got smoke from somebody. Who's that? It's Team Australia, Ian Dyke. Looks as though they're in trouble with that car. It could be an early retirement for Australia. Into the pits, Team India. Well, there was a bump in that first corner, and it's a new nose cone on the Indian car. New Zealand leads. Great Britain, Robbie Kerr in second position. Team Ireland's Adam Carroll in third. Then Adrian Zaug for South Africa in fourth. Then a little battle going on slightly further back. Germany versus Switzerland, this is. Neil Yarni lost a lot of places on that first lap, and now he's trying to get some of them back. This is the battle for 10th place. Brazil versus China. It's Sergio Jimenez versus Frankie Chang, and Chang's going all the way round the outside. It's a mega monster move from Frankie Chang. He takes the place. Wonderful stuff. And Frankie now moves up into 10th place. But up front, it's Johnny Reid who's coming through to take victory for New Zealand. Only 5 points scored in 2 races at Xanvort, but here he's taken a maximum of 16, including fastest lap. Great Britain takes second place. And Ireland come through to take their first podium in 39 races. A wonderful result for Adam Carroll. There's no denying the delight in the Kiwi camp. Their status as pre-season favourites has been confirmed by a perfect victory. South Africa's 4th place keeps them at the top of the points, while Lapierre takes 6th for France, and China picks up their first point of the season. The Brno circuit is ready for the feature race, and the grid lineup sees Blake Molen on pole position for Team Netherlands, ahead of Adrian Zaug for South Africa, and then it's Robbie Kerr of Great Britain and Neil Yarni of Switzerland on the second row. Frankie Chang is 5th for China, New Zealand down in 7th for this one, and Canada in 10th. Australia lines up down in 14th place, the host nation is 17th, and Ireland only 18th. Lights out, away we go, and it's a good start indeed from the Netherlands from pole position. Your own Blake Molen immediately shuts the door in front of South Africa, and Adrian Zaug now under pressure once again into that first corner. Great Britain and Switzerland on the attack. Up front, the Netherlands just managing to hold on to that lead from Robbie Kerr of Great Britain. He tried to go around the outside, and in fact he's going to lose a place, having tried so hard to take the lead. Meanwhile, everybody bunching up behind that Dutch car. South Africa and Great Britain virtually wheel to wheel again in the battle for second place. Look how tight it is. There's Neil Yarni trying to go around the outside for Team Switzerland. China's in there as well in that battle for 4th position. Cutting over to the inside, Team Canada versus Team Ireland. Hinchcliffe versus Carroll. This is for 12th place. Adam Carroll trying to go around the outside. Can he make the move stick? Hinchcliffe being aggressive, trying to defend, but I think Adam Carroll has the move done. Oh, off, that's Satrio Hermanto. Indonesian driver, I think, could recover from that. Race leaders come through, back into turn 1 once again. Further back, good battle going on between Lebanon and USA here. Oh, and onto the grass and the dirt. Buddy Rice in big trouble. My goodness, how did he miss the pit wall? We're ready for the pit stops. Into the pits then come South Africa and Great Britain. Up front, the Netherlands, all of them heading into the pits. It's the battle of the pit crews now. This is a crucial stage of the race. Looking good, looking slick. Blake Molen has the lead for the Netherlands. New Zealand have passed both South Africa and Great Britain. What a fantastic stop by the New Zealand crew. It's moved Johnny Reid up. Away they all come once again. A lot of bunching up going on in the pit lane there. China leads at this stage in the race, with the first pit stops having been made by some. Oh, we've got more pit stop action, and that's Lebanon swiping the nose off the Mexican car. Great Britain on the attack once again, looking to try and get past South Africa, effectively for 3rd place. They touch tyres, my goodness, and Robbie Kerr suffers as a result. Team France and South Africa now battling hard as they come round to complete another lap. It's Nicolas Lapierre for Team France. Remember, he won 6 races in season 1 of A1GP. Going to the outside now, trying to come around the outside at turn 1. That's going to be tough, but Lapierre's got his foot hard in it. He's trying to stay with the South African all the way round. Can he stay on? No, he bounces over the grass, cuts back onto the tarmac. My goodness, Jean-Paul Drouot can't quite believe it. Nicolas Lapierre went for it, but he paid the price, and here comes Robbie Kerr now. Great Britain comes back into 3rd place, and that certainly delights the pit wall. France now, here comes Nicolas Lapierre once again. Yes, this time a little less dramatically. He does make it through, and it's Germany now on the attack. Here comes Christian Vitores, that late lunge down the inside. He's made the move as well, gains the position. China in from the lead, it's lap 13. That was a good little stint by Frankie Chang. Here we've got a race going on for 14th place between the Czech Republic, the host nation, and Canada. Hinchcliffe trying to get down the inside. Eric Yanis trying to fend him off. I'm not sure if he can, though. And round. Oh, he clips the grass. Nothing Eric could do about that. And there's an interesting spectator, Thomas Enger, driver for the Czech Republic, of course, as well, and he's enjoying this race. Battle for 4th place, Great Britain and China here. And Great Britain, I'm not sure if there isn't a problem there for the British car. Kerr is struggling. What's going on? He's heading into the pits. Yes, he is, and there's a report of a puncture on that car. So Robbie Kerr suffering with a puncture, and this is going to cost them dear. Well, what a shame for Great Britain, for Robbie Kerr, after a potential podium finish on the cards there. Netherlands versus New Zealand. This is for the lead in the race. Now, we are getting into the second pit windows opening up. Let's see what they decide to do here. Some crews are ready, and Netherlands in, but New Zealand stays out. Big opportunity now for the Kiwis. They've got a lap or 2 in which to try and establish an advantage over the Netherlands. Germany in as well. And South Africa also in. Oh, Zout stalled it. He stalled it. That's cost him valuable time. So now New Zealand, are they coming in this lap? Yes, they are. Johnny Reid heads into the pits. And it all depends how fast your own Blake Mullen has managed to be on his outlap. And it depends how fast the boys in black can change the tyres on that car. It's going to be close. Away he goes, Johnny Reid. Where is the Dutch car? It's going to be close. Everybody trying to see where they are. Johnny Reid on the left. Blake Mullen on the right, and he's done it, he's got in front. The Kiwis have taken control here in Brno, and that was a magic stop by the crew. Johnny Reid pulling away since that stop, and he now is in total control. He's going to make it 2 out of 2 here at Brno, a fantastic achievement. The Netherlands have to settle for second place, while Neil Yarni of Switzerland just manages to beat Frankie Chang of China, who takes the bonus point for fastest lap. Well, that win for New Zealand means they now head the championship table by just 1 point, and that's even more cause for jubilation. Behind the top 3, China finished in 4th place. France finished in 5th, courtesy of Nicolas Frost, while Adam Carroll went from 18th place on the grid to finish 6th for Team Ireland. Brazil scored their first points of the season, and India claimed 9th position, with Italy in 10th. A significant victory for New Zealand after the problems at the first meeting at Xanvort in Holland. And let's see what it does to the points. 1 point ahead now of great rival South Africa. Great Britain and Netherlands are tied on 31 points. France only just behind with Switzerland. Ireland are in 7th.
With the racing over, there was still one more important presentation to be made. After some intensive scrutiny by our judges, Iveta Laduvska was crowned Miss A1GP Brno.
Iveta Laduvska.
Defending champions Germany have had a difficult start to the new season, and Brno was the second race in succession that Christian Vitoris saw his race compromised by Pakistan's Adam Khan.
Well, it actually has been a difficult situation. I already had done my second pit stop. He was on his first one, just blocked me, cost me some time or cost me some points at the end. But yeah, it was a difficult situation.
At the end of the day, in that circumstance, when you're actually there fighting on the field, you're not there to let people pass. It's as simple as that. You're there to fight for every scrap. And I thought it was fair. That's racing, and I'm here to race, and that's what I come here for.
I have to accept it. I mean, he don't have to let me pass and lost some points. It was a difficult situation, as I told, and sure, I'm not happy about this, but it is like it is.
As the European racing season wound down for winter, there was one more big event on the calendar as Ferrari staged their annual celebration at the Mugello circuit in Italy. There were some interested spectators in the pit lane as Brazil's Emerson Fittipaldi joined A1GP's management for a tour of the Formula One team garage. After trying out the team's car, the ex-Formula One world champion joined A1GP chairman Tony Teixeira for a chat with Ferrari Jean Todt, and it was clear the conversation was more than just social, as A1GP confirmed a landmark deal with the Ferrari marque to power the cars and collaborate on the design of the new A1GP chassis over the next 6 years. A final endorsement from Ferrari president Luca Di Montezemolo marks the beginning of the most exciting period in A1GP's history. From Brno, the A1GP drivers travelled thousands of miles east to Malaysia, to the Sepang International Circuit just outside Kuala Lumpur. With Malaysia celebrating 50 years of independence, local drivers Alex Young and Aaron Lim took time out to introduce some local Malaysian friends to some of their fellow drivers, before the teams took part in a reforestation programme as part of A1GP's Think Greener racing campaign. The Malaysia Race saw 3 teams bring in new drivers after some indifferent early season form. Germany replaced Christian Vitoris with newcomer Michael Amamuller. Canada promoted 18-year-old Robert Wickens to the race seat as they looked to score their first points. Whilst USA recalled Jonathan Somerton, who scored a podium for the team last season. In practice and qualifying, the overcast conditions couldn't hide the heat and humidity, as many of the drivers struggled to come to terms with the circuit's varying levels of grip. Through the mayhem, France's Loic Duval set the early pace before Switzerland's Neil Yanni snatched pole for the sprint race. In the feature race qualifying, Yanni was superlative as he set an astonishing time, almost 1 second clear of the field, to make it a double pole position.
I have to thank the team. They did a fantastic job, and at the end everything came together. Even myself, I'm surprised about it.
So Neil Yanni is on pole for the sprint race, with Loic Duval of France alongside. Then it's Jarvis and Amamuller for Great Britain and Germany, respectively. Wickens is 5th on his Canada debut. China and Netherlands are 9th and 10th, while Ireland and India only 13th and 14th on the grid. Host nation Malaysia back in 19th place. We're all ready to go on board Ollie Jarvis as we go on the attack once again in A1GP. Switzerland it is that leads from pole position. Neil Yanni getting a good getaway there, but can he hold it into the first corner? Alex Young on a charge, down the inside, up front it's all getting tight. Jarvis has hit the back of France. Oh, that's cost him time, could have done damage to the car. Look at them bunching up in the middle here. New Zealand squeezing China. China on the grass, getting back on, and here comes Malaysia, passing India just about by a little bit of contact on the side pod. Great Britain back down to 5th, or maybe even 6th place there, after that contact at the first corner. On board with Malaysia, still on the attack, Alex Young. Up front there's South Africa, past, and through he goes. He's managed to nip through past South Africa as well. Ooh, bit of a slide from Alex Young, kicks up the dust, and now he's under pressure himself. Down to the hard left-hander, India trying to go around the outside, Noreen Karthikeyan trying to make up, and we've got problems for Indonesia. Satrio Hermanto recovers. Meanwhile, in the middle of the pack, problems for Australia. That's Ian Dyke, he's lost it. Oh, he's beached it as well, no coming back from there. Battle for 11th, India hits the back of Malaysia in that battle. My goodness, pops over the rear wheel. I wonder if they're going to be able to continue. China's off from 19th place. That's their first non-finish of the season. Disappointment for the team. Battle between Jarvis and New Zealand's Johnny Reid here. This is for 6th place, held by the Kiwis at the moment, but can Great Britain come back? Looks as though that damage was pretty minimal early on. Race being led by Neil Yanni of Team Switzerland, France running in 2nd place. It's a lonely 2nd. Great 3rd place at the moment for the new boy, Rob Wickens of Team Canada, under a bit of pressure at the moment from Michael Amamuller of Germany, but look at this as well. Netherlands trying to take 8th from Ireland, and I think Ron Blake-Molen has managed to achieve it. Yeah, down the inside he's gone. And here comes Rob Wickens of Canada, really under pressure from Amamuller now. 2 rookies in A1GP. Wickens determined to keep that Canadian car ahead. The 18-year-old up against the 22-year-old German. Neither nation has had a podium finish so far in Season 3, and they both want it very, very badly. Rob Creswell, race engineer for Team Germany, man who took Nico Hülkenberg to success last year. These two still racing. Oh, and Amamuller goes for it down the inside, and he's through into the last lap. He's gone for the lunge and the shove manoeuvre. Well, coming around through the final corner, it is Neil Yanni who's going to take a brilliant win for Switzerland. Chronometric efficiency from Neil Yanni here today. He wins by over 3 seconds from Loic Duval of Team France. And it's Germany that's going to come through in 3rd. Canada pushed down to 4th place. Brazil, their best result so far in Season 3, in 5th position, chased by New Zealand and Great Britain. Well, it's win number 1 of the season for Switzerland. 3rd win of Yanni's career. He won the Dubai Sprint in Season 1, the Malaysia Sprint in Season 2, and now he's taken victory here again in Malaysia. And we've had news that Amamuller has been penalised with a time penalty. That's dropped him to 16th. That means Canada takes 3rd, and all others behind are promoted a place, bringing Italy up to 8th, Malaysia 9th. The Sepang circuit looking magnificent as we prepare for the feature race, and the lineup for this one has Great Britain joining Switzerland on the front row this time, with Germany and France tucked in behind. Ireland are up in 7th position this time, and New Zealand are back down in 10th spot. Canada lines up in 12th, Malaysia in 15th, while Portugal and Italy share row 9. Away we go on board with Malaysia, starting from 15th. It's a great getaway by Alex Young. USA very slow away in front of them, I think it was. Now we're on the attack of Canada. Alex Young going for it down the outside. It's Switzerland leading up front, Great Britain in second. Bit of a battle going on right behind though. Netherlands trying to go right round the outside. That's short. Oh, and we've got an impact behind. Cars all over the place. It's a pile-up at turn one. Portugal definitely out of this one, I think, by the looks of things. Several others trying to recover. Switzerland lead then. Battle's going on behind them. Brazil in third place. Great Britain in trouble. He's lost some. Lost 1-2 places there, has Ollie Jarvis. That's France moving up into third place, so Brazil gaining second position as a result of that mistake by Great Britain. And they're going chasing after Team Switzerland. There's Ireland versus the Netherlands. Germany's in there as well. Michael Amamuller aggressive in that first race. Now he's trying to do the same. He's managed to get past the Netherlands. Oh, Brazil under pressure now from Team France. Loic Duval looking one way, then the other. He's up the inside. This could be the manoeuvre here. He's going to try and shut the door on Brazil. Hard but fair racing there from Team France into second place. Brazil are going to try and come back at him. Surely Sergio Jimenez will try something into turn one, but I think Loic Duval should be able to hold on to second. Third place for Brazil, fourth place for Great Britain. Further back down the order, Malaysia now in trouble here, being passed by South Africa. Oh, New Zealand through as well. Look at that, 2 in 1 go. But oh, South Africa and New Zealand clash, they tangle. New Zealand dropping again. This is all about the battle for 10th place, the final point on offer in this feature race. Now it's the yellow and black side by side. Oh, there's contact, spinning. Round goes the New Zealand car. Malaysia across the grass and somehow missed by the others. My goodness, that was a high-speed accident. And it looks as though there are big problems for both Malaysia and New Zealand as a result. Look at that, punctured left rear for Johnny Reid, the series leader before this event, and now they could be losing valuable points. Oh, big slide down the inside. Canada dicing with the Czech Republic. That's for 13th. Into the pits comes Malaysia. It's a new nose cone required for Alex Young. Well, the team practice this regularly. Now it's their opportunity to show how fast they can be. New Zealand have also changed that tyre on Johnny Reid's car, but a long stop for him. Up front, it's Switzerland leading, France in second place. Brazil next up, under a bit of pressure from Great Britain. Gap back to Ireland, then Germany. Netherlands are still in the hunt as well. South Africa and India also running strongly. Here comes China now, passing Mexico down the inside. Frankie Chang managing to find a way past Michel Jourdain of Team Mexico. That battle down at the bottom end of the top 10, Netherlands and South Africa. Oh, mistake from South Africa. Adrian Zab, where are you going? He's lost it. They can't believe it on the pit wall. He's going to try and recover. Here comes Canada. Oh, my goodness. Canada doing a masterful piece of avoidance, but it's taken him straight into the gravel. And Rob Wickens' day could well be done as a result. Can you believe it? Into the pit stops now. This is going to be crucial stuff, but Switzerland have a healthy advantage coming into this first pit stop. Slight delay. Oh, and he's delayed further. Can't get past the French car. Eventually he gets going. My goodness, that might have cost them some very valuable time. Everybody else in the pits at the same time. Brazil trying to get going. They do get going. And Great Britain as well. They could be pressurising Switzerland here a little bit. They're all heading down towards the pit lane exit. They need to get out into the outside lane, but they're not. They've been held on a red light. There's a red light at the end of the pit lane. They're not allowed out. But there are 2 queues of traffic. They should be in the outer lane where Switzerland are. Away they go. It's a traffic lights Grand Prix. Sergio Jimenez of Brazil. He's ahead. He's taken the lead for Brazil. Would you believe it? What a bizarre set of circumstances. But Brazil has taken the lead from Team Switzerland on the exit of the pit stops. Now it's Great Britain on the attack. Great Britain trying to come around the outside of Neil Yarni into second place. Sweeps round. Can he finish the manoeuvre? Still has the outside line. Still has now the inside line. For the second part, he's done it. Oliver Jarvis is through. He's got ahead of Neil Yarni. But Neil Yarni's not giving up. He's going to attack again. He's down the inside himself. Oh, he's claimed it back. Great stuff by Yarni. And Loic Duval of France takes advantage to get alongside the British car as well. Well, France now trying everything to stay with Oliver Jarvis. He might do it. Yes, he has. He's through. And that puts him up into third place, and Jarvis attempting to take that manoeuvre, and it's all gone wrong. And it's gone wrong for Adam Carroll as well. Big spin for Team Ireland. Well, Adam Carroll recovers it wonderfully, and he's on his way once again, but that was frightening stuff. Oh, and it's all tight behind Mexico, the Czech Republic, all trying to take advantage of that as Ireland continue to recover. Plenty of dicing going on down through the field. Everybody looking for any opportunity to get ahead here. No way now to take advantage of that any further. And the Irish crew disappointed to see Adam losing some places. Here comes New Zealand, long way down for them now after that earlier problem. They are battling for 13th place, passing Australia. You see Malaysia in the background, both these cars that came together earlier, trying to fight their way back up the order. On board Switzerland, attacking Brazil for the lead now. He lost the lead on the exit of the pits. Here comes Neil Yarni to try and get it back on the track. He's sweeping around the outside. No, can't do it there, surely, or can he? Still with him, still with him. Can he get the inside? No, he can't. Sergio Jimenez, great job by the 23-year-old from Sao Paulo. It's only his 6th race in A1GP, and this is great stuff from the young man, holding Neil Yarni behind him for now. Great Britain, oh, and there's more contact. That was Germany. Another torpedo attack by Michael Amamuller, and it's taken Oliver Jarvis out. He recovers, but he's lost lots of places. Battle for third going on here between France and Netherlands, and it's tight stuff. Bleekemolen having a little look around the outside here. Surely you can't do it there. Well, he's trying, he's done it! My goodness, what a manoeuvre by Jeroen Bleekemolen. Jan Lammers likes that one. The second round of pit stops gets underway. It's Switzerland coming in from second place. Brazil getting ready to receive their man as well. Sergio Jimenez, the battle between these two nations for the win here. Brazil in. Let's see where they come back out again. That's the question. Where is Switzerland? Switzerland already ahead, and Switzerland takes back the lead from Team Brazil. But Brazil looking still for a fantastic result in second now. What's going on here for the Netherlands? Shake of the arm for Jeroen Bleekemolen. I think he may have stalled it. Yes, he has. And they've got to push start him. That's going to cost him time. It loses him third, loses him fourth. He's going to come back out in 5th place, just ahead or with Team China. That could be fun. Jeroen Bleekemolen versus Frankie Chang. And meanwhile, Michael Amamuller challenging here with the Czech car. That's just come out of the pits. Oh, and he's done it again. He's done it again. Clobbered another car at the same part of the circuit. Well, it's the Amamuller certainly here in Malaysia, no doubt about it. And the Czech team not too impressed. Australia versus USA now, ahead of Great Britain, all for 9th position it is now. These guys all looking for any position that they can get at this late stage in the race. Touching! Tyre smoke as well. My goodness, this is great racing. We're into the closing stages now. Not much time left at all. Jonathan Somerton racing for Team USA. His first race of season 3. Had a brilliant run in Mexico last year, but look at Australia's Ian Dyke. He's trying to hold on himself for the Aussies. Great Britain in there too, but coming around the final corner, it's Neil Yarni who's going to come through. It's a Swiss double here in Malaysia. The win in the sprint, the win in the feature, and Neil Yarni demonstrates once again why Team Switzerland are one of the championship favourites. Brazil takes a breathtaking 2nd place. Loic Duvalli's 3rd for Team France, and it's still going on in that battle for 9th. Who's going to get it? Ian Dyke on the inside, Jonathan Somerton on the outside. Oliver Jarvis trying to come up through there as well, and it's Australia that's going to take 9th position at the end of it all. But the biggest smiles are at A1 Team Switzerland. Fastest lap as well to Yarni, so it's another 16-point maximum. The heat and the humidity have been forgotten by the podium finishers, washed away by that rush of adrenaline. But officials have decided that Brazil and Great Britain were in the wrong part of the pit lane in the traffic light Grand Prix, and a time penalty puts Brazil back to 3rd and Great Britain down to 12th.
The talk of the post-race paddock in Malaysia was the performance of Germany's new driver Michael Amamuller. After initially finishing 3rd in the sprint race, he was demoted to 16th after this clash with Canada's Robert Wickens.
It was definitely a desperate last lap maneuver, probably extremely desperate. But I mean, I haven't seen the footage yet, so I don't want to jump to any conclusions, but I don't think I would have done that move.
Yeah, I think it was quite fair. It was racing. It's the last lap and everybody wants to gain a position if he's behind, not first. I had a little bit contact with him, but I think it was not too bad. It's just normal race overtaking, I would say.
Unfortunately for the German team, the feature race turned out to be even more controversial, as Amamuller was excluded from the results after trying more normal overtaking.
I think it's not only my fault, because I was on the inside on the better line, and I think it was not a big touches to the others, just didn't let me enough space, and then in the end I think it was their fault.
I think there's nothing to talk about. I was already in front of him in that point when he hit my rear wheel and spun me. So I think it was his mistake and the penalty was in the right place.
And it wasn't just Czech's Erik Jimenez on the receiving end of the Shuntmeister.
Well, basically turned into the second corner and Amamuller just came from nowhere and just sort of sideswiped me. Not really sure what he was thinking, but you know, incidents happen. We'll just have to get over it and look forward to the next race.
It's not an easy race for me. We had a good grid position and then started already with a bad start, and I think it was one of my worst races.
After the dramas of Sepang, it was time to move on from the heat and humidity of Malaysia to the more autumnal climes of southern China for round 4 of the series. And it was to be a new challenge for all of the teams, as the A1GP Circus made their first ever visit to the city of Zhuhai. Making a welcome return to the track was Czech Republic's Thomas Enger, who missed the early season races through injury. Italy also made a change, promoting their 20-year-old rookie Eduardo Piscopo to the race seat, whilst Mexico followed the trend towards youth by calling up 19-year-old David Garza. The first session of the sprint race qualifying saw Ireland's Adam Carroll set the pace as he looked to score the team's first ever pole position. But a stunning lap by Michael Amamuller saw him go some way to restoring his battered reputation to claim Germany's first pole position of the season.
Yes, I'm very happy for Germany and also for myself, because it's a long time ago we had a pole position in a race. We know the car is quick, and I think we have a good chance to get on the podium and maybe win the first race.
In feature race qualifying, India scored their best ever grid position as Narain Karthikeyan took third. But once again, it was Switzerland's Neil Yanni setting the pace, taking his second consecutive feature race pole.
I found most time in the end in braking and just generating more heat into the tires. Because it's so dirty, it's very hard to get the tires onto temperature. And that's what we managed to do better and better, and for the feature race qualifying we got it the best.
This new venue in southern China sees Germany on pole position in the sprint race from Team Switzerland, followed by Ireland and China. Thomas Enger has put the Czech car 6th on the grid. India and Canada are back in 9th and 10th, while New Zealand is 13th, South Africa 14th, and David Garza of Mexico starts at the back. Michael Amamuller leads the field on the formation lap on this 4.3-kilometre 10-turn circuit, a brand new venue for A1, and we're racing once again on board with Frankie Chang of China on the attack immediately down towards the first corner, but it's Germany leading. On board New Zealand, starting down in 13th place. Johnny Reid with lots to do. Switzerland trying to go around the outside of Germany at turn 1. Can't quite make it. We're back with New Zealand. It's all frantic stuff. We're on board here with Team India. India squeezing through and getting ahead of France and the Netherlands. Up front it's Germany. Here comes Neil Yanni on the outside now for Switzerland, kicking up the dust. Can't get through. Ireland holding on to 3rd position. Oh, South Africa loses it in the middle of the pack. Brazil bumps into them. So does Australia. My goodness, I think South Africa had a little bit of a nerf from Brazil, which set that whole thing off for Malaysia, limping round with a puncture. Look at South Africa's front wing. They're in trouble as well. And there's Lebanon's Chris Alajajian. He's being hoisted out of the way. Well, Brazil in the pits, South Africa in the pits. Lots of new bits fitted to the cars as they head on their way once again. But up front, no doubt about race leader. It's Germany's Michael Amamuller. He leads from Switzerland. Ireland in 3rd place. Then it's China in 4th. Good race behind the Czech Republic and Great Britain. Battling for 5th. Oliver Jarvis up against Thomas Enger there. But Michael Amamuller still just easing away up front. And there you can see the battles going on further behind. Thomas Enger enjoying coming back into A1GP. There's India in the middle of the pack as well. Team France right behind. Oh, New Zealand and Canada. Contact made, and Canada sweeps back in front. That's the battle for 10th place, and James Hinchcliffe is having a laugh, watching what Rob Wickens is up to. Into the pits, out of the race. That's Alex Young. All over for him. On board with New Zealand, down the inside into turn 1. Contact is made. Round goes the Canadian car, lighting up those rear tyres. He may well be able to rejoin, but he's lost a lot of places. On board with China, we're in the race for 3rd place here with Team Ireland, and Adam Carroll trying to defend, but here comes Frankie. He's down the inside, and China takes 3rd place on home territory in Zhuhai. Team USA trying to close up to the back of Italy. Oh, off! Bam! Goes Portugal. João Urbano. But the checker flag is out, and it's victory for Germany. Second place goes to Switzerland. They get fastest lap as well. And third place for Frankie Chang, Kongfu Cheng of China. What a remarkable result. It's the first win for Germany since last race of season 2. Amamuller becomes the second ever German driver to win. And Yanni's now enjoyed a run of 4 consecutive podium finishes for Switzerland. China takes its second ever podium and the first for Frankie Cheng. What a place to do it.
The 50,000 fans that flocked to Zhuhai on race day had more than just great racing to entertain them. As the teams prepared for the feature race, the packed grandstands enjoyed some traditional Chinese entertainment.
The feature race grid has Switzerland and Great Britain on row 1, followed by India, a superb third place for Narain Karthikeyan, and France in 4th position. China is 6th on the grid, South Africa and New Zealand 9th and 10th, while the Czechs are 16th this time around, and Australia is all the way down in 19th place. Lights out, away we go, and it's a good start from both Switzerland and Great Britain up front there. On board with Team Germany, they're coming from 5th place, tucking in behind Team France, and looking up front, it's Great Britain that takes the lead from Switzerland into the first corner. Oh, we've got mayhem behind. That's Ireland spinning, Canada, Brazil also involved. Disaster at turn 1. Meanwhile, up front, Germany squeezed out by France. Oh, lost a lot of places as a result of that. Has the race 1 winner, and it's going to be tough. Look at that! New Zealand and Malaysia made contact. Malaysia spins right in front of the pack, slams into the tyre wall, and Alex Young in desperate trouble once again. Brazil limping back to the pits. Problems for Pakistan there. Canada needs a new front wing after that first turn incident, and it looks as though Brazil are going to need more serious work done, as is Australia. Look at the amount of damage done on the first lap. Delays for Team Pakistan. They're trying to get him going again. He's stalled the engine, but Adam Khan does restart. Great Britain leads the race. Switzerland running in 2nd place. India well up there at the most. South Africa nips past USA. Up from 9th on the grid, Adrian Zaug. He's going well. New Zealand on the attack now, trying to line up China for 7th. He's through on the inside. Johnny Reid making progress here, and he's on the attack once again. Now he's attacking for 6th place past USA. Can he hold it? Yes, he can. Johnny Reid gains another position. Into the pits, the first round of pit stops. New Zealand go to work. This crew so fast in the pit lane. Can they help Johnny Reid gain places once again? Oliver Jarvis in. New Zealand back out on their way. It's a slow stop for Great Britain, though. They've got problems. France in trouble as well. Oh, and he's bowled over one of the American mechanics as Team France. Netherlands in trouble now. Look at Jeroen Blekemolen. No way he's going to finish the race in that car. Oh, we've seen a great stop for Team India. Look at Team India coming back out ahead of New Zealand, ahead of France and Great Britain as well. A remarkable stop from 3rd to 1st. But remember, we're still waiting for Team Switzerland to make their stop. Netherlands out of this race as expected. And there is Neil Yarni ready to come back out. The battle on between Switzerland and India. Where's he going to come out? He rejoins the fray, and he's going to come back out still in the lead of this race. So Switzerland lead, India up into 2nd place. It's a good stop nonetheless for Team Switzerland. Team India holding on to that battle for 2nd place. Meanwhile, slightly further back, here comes South Africa trying to get past Great Britain for 4th. Oh, he squeezed, but he goes through anyway. Adrian Zaug will not be denied. Into the pits, it's a drive-through penalty for Team France as a result of clipping that mechanic. Could have been nasty. Good news is the mechanic is okay. Czech Republic versus Lebanon. Lebanon spinning, that's from 11th place. Oh, they could have maybe scored points here today, but it's not to be. Ireland pushed away. Oh, that's great shame. Suspension damage on that car. Problems for Indonesia. Where's he going? Satrio Hermanto out of the race. That's their first non-finish of this season. 2nd round of pit stops. India in. Switzerland in already. Now again, we've got a battle in the pit lane effectively here. Team Switzerland go to work. Get Nieliani back out. He had a useful margin coming into the pits. There's a problem, he's shaking his head. The right rear wheel won't go on. India goes past. India has taken the lead of the race. They still can't get that Swiss car out. They're still struggling, and Team India take the lead of the race into high. Great Britain slow away as well. Switzerland eventually en route. What a changeabout that has caused. New Zealand into the pits from 3rd place. This will be interesting. Can New Zealand attack India for the lead in the race here? We've seen how fast their stops have been. The Indian crew watching the Kiwis. Away goes Johnny Reid. Who's going to be in front? India flying down the straight, and India surely has enough speed. Yes, India reclaims the lead. They've done it. They're ahead of New Zealand. That's what they were looking for. Team China in now. It's a drive-through penalty for Frankie Chang. South Africa versus Germany. This is the battle for 3rd position. Look how close Germany's getting to the back of Adrian Zaub's car. Trying to find a way through. It's the final podium slot. And Michael Amamuller, who won the sprint race here, wants it, but so does Adrian Zaub. He fends him off. Tough, tough battle between two uncompromising racers. Back on board with Germany once again. He's going to have another go. One way, then the other. Trying to move to the... Oh, again, his nose almost cut off by Adrian Zaub. Great racing between these two nations. Here comes Germany once again. He's going to try for the inside, then he goes to the outside. Into turn 1. Can he sweep round the edge? No, he can't. Zaub squeezes him out wide, puts him on the dirty part of the track. And race engineer Humphrey Corbett, he's breathing a sigh of relief. This is USA versus China for 9th position. Oh, Somerton's gone very, very wide, and that allows Chang through. Well, the grass looked pretty short beforehand. It's a lot shorter now, but here comes Team India to take their first ever win in A1GP. Chased hard by New Zealand. Narain Karthikeyan takes victory, and 3rd is held by Adrian Zaub. What a moment for the former Grand Prix driver. Narain Karthikeyan, the 30-year-old, takes victory for Team India. New Zealand takes 2nd from 10th on the grid with magic pit stops once again. Germany 4th despite dropping back on the opening lap. Jarvis 5th for Great Britain, and Switzerland's run of podiums ends with that slow pit stop. The victory brings India up to 10th place in the points, but Switzerland retains the series lead by 19 points over France. New Zealand are 1 point further back, while Great Britain are 4th, and early season leaders South Africa are 5th.
Zhuhai was another desperate weekend for Malaysia's Alex Yu. Caught up in the first lap drama of the sprint race, his mood worsened after this spectacular off in the feature race.
Just going through turn 2 it was, I was side by side with Johnny Reid, and he just went on the side of me and took me out. And we ended up having a pretty big accident.
To be honest, Alex was a bit optimistic, and you know, he just sort of stuck around the outside and didn't really, he tried to squeeze me. I could see him in my mirror, and I just nudged the curb, and that was enough to step out, and we just touched and he went off.
All of a sudden, he's straight into me in big contact, forced me off the road. And I went straight to the barrier. And from my point of view, it looked like he was just trying to kill me, basically.
Pretty much similar sort of incident to what happened at Sepang. And you know, maybe there's still some bad egg there from Alex's side, but you know, as a racing driver, you just got to get on with things.
2008 began with a return to Taupo in the heart of New Zealand's geothermal North Island. Famous for its stunning countryside and traditional Maori culture, the area is also a playground for adrenaline junkies seeking out less traditional forms of entertainment. New Zealand's Johnny Reid would no doubt count himself in that group, and he warmed up for his home event by going head-to-head with a Boeing 777 down Auckland International Airport's runway. Down at the track, Australia promoted their promising rookie John Martin to the race seat after a dismal season so far, in which they've scored just 2 points. But the biggest surprise in the Taupo paddock was at Germany, where Christian Vittoris earned a surprise recall for the defending champions. In qualifying, the strong winds made track conditions tricky, but through the dust it was home favourite Johnny Reid, who delighted the fans with pole position for the sprint race.
I'm ecstatic about it, but on the warm-down lap, I had no radio communication with the team, so I didn't know that we had pole, and I just saw the crowd absolutely, you know, standing up out of their seats cheering, and it's just a fantastic feeling. I'm really proud to have done it on home turf.
In feature race qualifying, New Zealand looked set for the double, but in the final seconds it was France and Loic Duval who took their first pole position of the season.
Actually, it was really hard, because for the first qualifying, the sprint race, we didn't do it, and we were on the front Friday and Saturday, but finally we are on pole for the feature race, so that's perfect.
The first race of the day at Taupo sees the host nation on pole from South Africa, with France and Germany behind and both USA and Canada in the top 8. Switzerland is surprisingly back in 11th place. Great Britain is also down in 13th, while Thomas Enger of the Czech Republic starts 19th, ahead of Karthikeyan for India. It's a fantastic day on the North Island of New Zealand as A1GP is ready to burst into action once again. Away we go, and we're on board with Team Ireland, trying to find space into that first corner, but it's the host nation that leads just about. Johnny Reid's done it. He's ahead of Adrian Zaug. Oh, on board with Neil Yardi, and it's an up and under as he clashes with Alex Young of Malaysia. Canada involved as well. Rob Wickens in trouble. He's been held up. Germany versus France. Meanwhile, the rest of them have got through that first corner okay. It's New Zealand leading as Neil Yardi walks away from his stricken machine. And Malaysia can't believe the run of bad luck that they've had recently. Into the pits comes Canada. Damage done on that first lap. Meanwhile, the leaders are Johnny Reid and Adrian Zaug, and it's Zaug under a bit of pressure here from Germany's Christian Vittoris. Vittoris looking one way, then the other. Zaug having to cut down to the inside. This is good news for Johnny Reid of New Zealand. The battling behind him allows him to make a little bit of a break. Here comes Vittoris trying to get alongside South Africa. No way through there. And he slots in behind once again. Very, very tight. This twisty Taupo circuit, not easy to overtake, but he's got to go for it. Oh, he has a look down the inside again. A mistake this time from Zaug. A look up of the brake, and Vittoris is through for Germany into second position. Great Britain attacking USA here. This is for 7th place, and Robbie Kerr almost alongside Jonathan Somerton. Has he done it? Well, he's got a great run going here, and he's got a run into the next left-hander. He might well have it done. Into 7th, no! Clash! Oh, Kerr can't believe it. What happened there? It looks as though he'd won the place. It all went wrong. Meanwhile, this is the race for 15th. China cutting across the grass. Indonesia involved in that. So is Mexico and Brazil. Satrio Hermanto cuts in front of Chang. And Mexico, locking up behind. Oh, it looks as though we're heading for disaster here somewhere, but somehow they've made it through. But it's all over for Robbie Kerr. Look at the frustration. China, meanwhile, still in this race with Team Indonesia, and now down the inside. Yep, got the move made. Oh, he's got the grass again, and Indonesia's going to try and get it back. Can Frankie Chang hold it on the inside? Well, they touch on the way out of the corner. Indonesia on the grass. My goodness, and I think it's Brazil who's going to take advantage of it all. South Africa in 3rd, but coming under pressure for that position by France here. Loic Duval goes through. That must have been a mistake, surely, from Adrian Zaug, and Loic Duval made it look easy. Eric Boulier very satisfied with that. Czech Republic close. Oh, he's hit Lebanon. Would you believe it? Lebanon, Chris Alajajian was in 10th place, looking for points. He's been hit by one of the most experienced competitors, Thomas Enger, and now off goes Canada. What are they all up to? Rob Wickens spinning onto the grass. Well, Enger's out of this race as well, but the big loser there, Team Lebanon, Chris Alajajian, he was running 10th. They still are yet to score. Oh, that's the problem for Canada. He's got damage to the suspension. Look at it. It's given up on him completely. And Rob Wickens is going to limp off the circuit. It's the last lap, and the crowd's going crazy because Johnny Reid, their hero, is coming home for victory. The second time a host nation has won on home soil.
Well done, Johnny. Great job. Yeah, cheers, boys. Thank you. Brilliant.
Johnny Reid wins it for New Zealand. Germany finishing 2nd. France are in 3rd place. It's Johnny's 3rd win of the season, and it couldn't have come at a better place for him. And with Switzerland failing to score, the gap at the top of the leaderboard has narrowed from 19 points to just 4. It's a very special moment for the Aucklander, and even more so as he's presented his gold medal by New Zealand racing legend Chris Amon. Christian Vittoris has returned in style, while it was a solid drive from Portugal's João Urbano to go from 14th on the grid to finish in 8th. Henri Karthikeyan came from 20th to snatch the final point. So the question is, can New Zealand do the double on home soil? We're about to find out. Here's the grid for the feature race, with France on pole position from Germany 2nd. Switzerland are right up there this time on the grid. Meanwhile, the Black Beauty is down in 5th place. Portugal, though, a superb 6th. Brazil lines up 11th, while Malaysia are 14th. Lebanon are 17th, ahead of China, and Indonesia brings up the rear. It's blast-off time, and Switzerland on the attack very quickly. A very fast start there by Neil Yarni. He squeezed through, but it's a slow start for Johnny Reid. And look, he's been passed by a number of cars into that first corner. He's about 14th there, turning in. It's very difficult to get around in the mid-pack there cleanly. Oh, big slide for Brazil. He qualified 11th. He might well have lost a place or two as a result of that. Bit of first lap jostling going on here, always to be expected. India loses it down the inside, hitting Australia, and surely damage done to both cars as a result of that. India trying to rejoin here. Oh, look at that damage to the side pod on that car. Alan Jones can't believe it. Onboard Team Brazil here, attacking Ireland for 10th place. He's down the inside. Yes, good clean passing manoeuvre by Sergio Jimenez. Got ahead of Adam Carroll. And as he comes round this time, that's him in the points, but out in trouble surely is Narain Carter-Cairn, limping back to the pit lane. Switzerland leading, France in second, Germany third, Netherlands in fourth, Portugal right up there once again. And this is the race for the lead. It's Switzerland versus France. Loic Duval on the attack, still looking for his first victory in A1GP. Oh, I thought he had a chance there, but Neil Yarni just about managed to cover the inside. Canada down the inside of South Africa. That's 6th place for Canada. Good move by Rob Wickens. Lebanon versus Italy now. Oh, they've made contact. That was for 13th place, and the two of them in trouble. Eduardo Piscopo for Italy, Chris Alajajian for Team Lebanon. It looks to me as though they both could be out of it. Oh, and Great Britain's out again. Would you believe more problems for them? There's Eduardo Piscopo walking away from the Italian car. Into the pits comes Switzerland. It's a drive-through penalty for a jump start. Well, drama here indeed in New Zealand. Neil Yarni, a drive-through penalty, that's going to hurt. It means Loic Duval now leads the race for Team France. Germany up there in 2nd place. Netherlands now running in 3rd. Switzerland have dropped all the way down to 16th place as a result of that drive-through. New Zealand made a poor start, but they're trying to recover. That's 7th place now for Johnny Reid. He's got past Team Brazil. Oh, problems for Alex Young. Almost loses it. He has lost it. Spinning. And everybody else somehow avoiding him. Malaysia in trouble again. We're into the pit stops. France coming in from the lead. Germany right behind them. So it's a battle of the pit crews once again here. Germany looking for a rapid stop. France down at the far end of the pits, nearer the pit exit. Here they go. Germany passes France. France not released, now released. Oh, almost runs into the back of the Czech car, and he's lost the lead. Germany faster out there. Here come the group battling for 3rd now. The Netherlands holding on to 3rd at the moment. Portugal in 4th, Canada in 5th, and South Africa also in on this one. So again, it's the battle of the pit crews. Who's going to be fastest? Good stop by Canada. This could put them ahead. Let's just see. Netherlands en route. Oh, Netherlands will retain 3rd place, but South Africa definitely losing out. They rejoined the back of that queue. Portugal lost out to Canada as well, so the Canadians very, very fast today. Australia still working on their car after the earlier damage. Germany leads this race from France in 2nd place. The Dutch car in 3rd. The Netherlands running 3rd ahead of Canada now in 4th place. Portugal are in 5th place. Then it's South Africa in 6th. Look at New Zealand back in 7th place, with Brazil currently in 8th position. On board with Switzerland. Oh, and Team Switzerland trying to get past Pakistan here. That's not proving to be easy. This is the race for 11th place. Neil Yarni trying to go around the outside. He's on the grass. My goodness. And he's damaged the nose cone as well. Damage to the front wing. Surely he's going to have to come back in the pits. It's all going wrong for Neil Yarni here in New Zealand, and he's got another lap to do. Team Pakistan again under pressure, and this time it's a mistake by Adam Khan. That lets Adam Carroll through. Here comes Johnny Reid trying to get past South Africa. That's 6th place. He's done it down the inside, trying to make up for that slow getaway, and that's another place he's gained. So Johnny Reid continues his attack. Meanwhile, Sergio Hermanto's lost it. Oh, back end slides around, and off goes Australia. Same place on the circuit. Makes you wonder if there is... Oh, look, Jeroen Bleekemolen's off over there too. What is going on? He manages to rejoin. Makes you wonder if there's some oil or something down on that part of the circuit. And Jan Lammers having a bit of a look to see if he can work it out. Australia restarted. and back into the race. That's good news. Meanwhile, second round of pit stops going on here. Team Germany from the lead of the race. That's another good clean stop by the looks of things. And New Zealand on their way as well. This could gain them some time. France in as well, so is Canada. This will be an interesting tussle in the pits. France losing out on that first round of stops to Team Germany, if you remember. Now they want to try and stay ahead of Canada. Germany surely will retain the lead. Canada gets out ahead of France. Another fantastic stop there by the Canadians. They've got Rob Wickens ahead of Loic Duval, and Canada will effectively rejoin in third place. But Switzerland are yet to stop from where they are. So Brazil down the inside of South Africa, trying to make the move stick. Can he do so? Yes, he can. That was pretty clean in the end. It looks as though it was going to go wrong, but he held it together, and there's a big smile on the face of Emerson Fittipaldi. Pakistan versus Malaysia now. Whoa! And that's a front wing gone. It's a front wing for Malaysia, wiped out in an incident with Pakistan. Alex Young limping back to the pit lane once again. Team Portugal here, João Urbano having a great run this afternoon in New Zealand. Germany continuing to lead. Switzerland moving out of the way, interestingly here, of the other leaders. He's out of sync, remember, having had those drive-through penalties. I'm not sure the team will want him to do that. Oh, round goes China. China spinning. That was from 7th place. Oh, valuable points lost there for Frankie Chang. But the checkered flag is being made ready for Team Germany. It's Christian Victorious who wins for Germany. Canada finishes in a superb 2nd place. France take 3rd, and New Zealand finish in 4th position.
Well done, Christian, well done! Brilliant, brilliant!
Christian Victorious takes the win here, backing up the success of Michael Amamuller earlier on in the season. Reigning title holders take their 2nd win of the season, and he's the youngest ever winner at 18 years and 9 months old. It's also the best result of the season for Canada, and Rob Wickens has now earned 2 podiums in 3 events. Loic Duval will be disappointed with 3rd. He looked a winner, but the pit stops let him down. 4th place for New Zealand after a drive-through penalty for Portugal means the host nation here leaves Taupo leading the championship. And there was a first point of the season for Pakistan for finishing 10th.
Championship leader Switzerland had a weekend to forget in Taupo. After crashing out of the first corner of the sprint race, Neil Yanni saw his feature race ruined when he was penalised for a jump start.
It's one of these days which you would like to start from new. I didn't think it was a jump start. First of all, the cars anyway moved because of the wind or was going down something. They just, as soon as you were off brakes, it moved slightly. I thought it was a perfect start. It didn't look like a jump start.
And just when it looked like Yanni might salvage a result, this clash with Pakistan late in the race left Switzerland pointless from a weekend to forget. From New Zealand, the teams didn't have far to travel across the Tasman Sea to the city of Sydney, which hosted Australia's round of the World Cup of Motorsport at Eastern Creek Raceway. Sydney is world famous for the harbour and its sun-kissed beaches, and the Aussies certainly know how to work and play hard. A philosophy that also applies to the A1GP drivers, and they spent some time before the event getting up close and personal with some of Australia's most famous and most dangerous animals. There was a surprise in the A1GP paddock in Sydney when the series' most experienced driver, Malaysia's Alex Young, was replaced for the weekend by Farouz Fauzi. After a promising start to the weekend, Lebanon's Chris Alajadjian set the 5th fastest time in free practice to raise the team's hopes of scoring their first ever point in A1GP. But it all went wrong during the first session of qualifying, when a comprehensive off destroyed the car and brought the session to an early end. A distraught Alajadjian was left to contemplate a mistake that left him at the back of the grid for both races. As the session restarted, host nation Australia posted their best qualifying performance of the season to take 9th. But nobody could match France's Loic Duval, who topped the times to take his 2nd pole position of the season.
Yeah, I feel great, really confident. The car looks really good. Just have to take a good start. It's a rolling start, we'll be okay. And then if I can keep the 1st position, I think we can win the race.
The first session of the feature race qualifying saw China's Frankie Chang take the nation's first ever provisional pole. But it was New Zealand's Johnny Reid who hit the front when it mattered, putting the Black Beauty on pole for the feature race.
Very pleased about that, absolutely stoked, We worked hard all weekend and we've been close on the times. There's a lot of Kiwis that live over here in Sydney and, I'm sure they'll be coming out of the woodworks and and to turn it on for them here in Sydney would be a huge delight for me.
Following on from New Zealand, it's a second consecutive pole for Loic Duval of Team France, with Switzerland alongside, then South Africa and New Zealand on the second row. Host nation Australia lines up in 9th position. Karthikeyan for India is 13th, while the back of the grid is completed by Indonesia and Lebanon. We're ready to go racing here in Australia. Loic Duval away from the start. A very, very good getaway by the Frenchman. Switzerland in second place under pressure from South Africa. And into the first corner, that's South Africa sliding past New Zealand. Good move by Adrian Zhao to take advantage, but it's France up front. Into the hairpin for the first time. Great Britain trying to get down the inside there. Could be a little tricky, but I think they've made it so far. And amazingly, they've all made it round that hairpin. Loic Duval leads for France, then it's Neil Yarni for Switzerland. South Africa versus New Zealand. Robbie Kerr for Great Britain leading that next little group of cars. India coming under some attack here from Canada. And Canada coming from quite a long way down the grid. Didn't qualify particularly well, but Rob Wickens making the move. Oh, and in the background, Pakistan off. Pakistan spinning and into the wall. Adam Khan surely is out of the race. Disappointment for the Pakistan team. Meanwhile, host nation Australia going well in the hands of John Martin. He loves this circuit. Oh, he's got a bit wide there though. Through turn 1 he kicks up the dust and stays on the tarmac. Good control. And Alan Jones has a laugh about it. The rain is beginning to fall in the sprint race here, and that's making conditions very difficult. And the battle for second sees Adrian Zhao sweep past Switzerland. France continue to lead. Loic Duval opening up that advantage. But look on ball. No, Zhao's lost it. Zhao has got past Switzerland. Now he's lost it into a spin. Well, these conditions very tricky on slick tyres in the wet. Just about the most difficult conditions for all the drivers. Interesting, Great Britain deciding to bring Robbie Kerr in to change onto wet tyres. It's only a short race. Here comes Canada. Down the inside of Team China. He's picking up more places here. This is a strong drive by Rob Wickens so far, and he's down the inside again. Almost made contact with Brazil there. Slides through on the inside, and that's another position gain. On board New Zealand, this is the attack for second place. New Zealand versus Switzerland, two of the top nations in A1GP, going wheel to wheel, are they? Yes, because Yarni goes wide and Johnny Reid goes through on the inside, and it looks pretty easy from his point of view. Still looking for the grip though. USA down the inside of Australia. These two trying to battle in the top 6. Look how Canada has now joined that group as well. Coming from way down on the grid, Canada now fighting for a position in the top 6, and Rob Wickens sweeps round 1, he sweeps round 2, and he gains 2 places in one go. Oh, we got a spinner. It's Portugal spinning in the middle of the pack, and somehow he's missed by everybody. Off is Lebanon. Oh, that's a great shame. Chris Alajajian loves this circuit, but unfortunately it hasn't been kind to him today. Netherlands versus Team Ireland. This race still continuing in tricky conditions, and look who they've been caught by now. It's Team Canada charging up the field and trying to gain yet more places. Ireland versus Netherlands, right ahead of Canada now. And here comes Jeroen Bleekemolen. He's lining up Adam Carroll for a possible pass into the first corner down the inside. They're going to go side by side, but he can't get through. But look at Canada. Canada just sweeps round 1 down the inside of the other. My goodness, that's amazing driving. And that brings Canada now. Surely does he do it? Well, he's not quite done it. He's no Ireland in trouble. Big slide from Adam Carroll. And that does allow Canada through eventually. Adam Carroll fighting to stay off the grass. But I'm not too sure that he succeeded. No, he didn't. And now he's going to have to try and recover from there, losing a host of places. But he is back on the tarmac. So Germany now running in 4th place, under attack from the flying Rob Wickens. What a stunning drive this has been from the young Canadian. And here he goes again, right round the outside. Oh, that's one of the moves of the season by Rob Wickens. Off goes Switzerland, Neil Yarni. That's from 3rd. My goodness, that really is a surprise to see him make a mistake. He drops way down the order, but he still could get in the points here. That's Brazil on the attack now. Brazil trying to get past Neil Yarni, bottom end of the top 10. There might still be a few points on offer. But coming through to take victory, a brilliant drive by Loic Duval. No mistakes by the Frenchman, and it's the first ever win for Duval. It's the 14th victory for Team France, but it's been a long time coming. Coming through in 2nd place, it's New Zealand. 3rd for Canada. 4th for Team Germany. But what a drive by Loic Duval. At last, he's taken the victory he's looked close to so many times. And there is Rob Wickens, 3rd from 15th on the grid. What a remarkable drive that was by him. And also some good performances by Jonathan Somerton, taking Team USA's best result of the season, as did John Martin for Team Australia in 6th. Neil Yarni survived to finish 10th for Switzerland.
Despite the damp conditions, the thousands of race fans were in high spirits as the excitement built before the afternoon's feature race. On the grid, the drivers were joined by some famous faces. Brazilian World Cup winner Juninho met countryman Sergio Jimenez, whilst 5x 500cc motorcycle world champion Mick Doohan passed on some advice to countryman John Martin.
The grid for the feature race sees New Zealand on their second pole position of the season so far. Alongside them, great rivals Switzerland. And then on the second row, it's Great Britain and China. France are reasonably well up. Brazil line up 9th on the grid this time. Germany down in 12th position. Ireland are 15th on the grid. Indonesia down in 20th, with Canada and Lebanon at the back of the field. Cars on the grid, but not New Zealand. What has happened to the pole sitter? There's concern down there. He's not made it round on his reconnaissance lap. There he is. He's actually being carried away. There's a problem with the car, and they're not going to get him back out on the grid. Disaster. He's going to have to start from the pit lane. Cars move away on their formation lap. Oh, there's a car left there. That's France. Team France has not moved. Big problems for Loic Duval. He's not going anywhere. He'll have to start from the back. We've got a couple of cars in, ready to change their tyres already. We're all set to go racing at last now. Let's see what happens. Look how slow they are away. The back of the grid, France, very slow. Problem still there with his gearbox or clutch. Up front, great start from Brazil, sweeping through the pack, and South Africa, but it is Switzerland that just leads as they go through the first corner. Great Britain moving up as well there, I think. And Team Canada, we're on board with Team Canada from 21st on the grid. You can see barely anything in the spray. Look at Great Britain attacking down the inside, trying to get past Adrian Zaug into second place. Robbie Kerr's done it. Adrian Zaug puts a wheel over the edge, loses some time, and he's under attack now from Sergio Jimenez of Brazil. Very, very tight, but just about staying on the island. There's Germany a little further down the order than expected. Work to be done. Jonathan Somerton, meanwhile, trying to sweep around the outside here of Frankie Chang. Can he get back to the inside? Yes, he can. And Somerton gains a position for USA. Into 5th place, that is now, for Team USA. And Jonathan Somerton seems to enjoy these wet conditions. Switzerland continuing to lead. Great Britain, South Africa in 3rd. Brazil in 4th. USA now in 5th position. And where are they? Where are the rest of them in the spray there? Look at this. Canada on a move again, going around the outside in Netherlands. This is for 8th place. He started 21st for this one, and again he's making rapid progress. Malaysia versus Pakistan, that's for 12th position. Oh, Alex Yu into a slide there, and France joining in. Now he started from the back of the grid, remember, Loic Duval, winner of the sprint race, really going on the attack, trying to get past Malaysia now, down the inside, he's done it, that's into 13th place for Loic Duval. They're making progress. Czech Republic versus Australia, and here comes John Martin. He's got a great line in the wet round here, and he's taken 9th place. Good move for the Australians. Let's see if they can get onto the podium. Neil Yarni continues to lead. Robbie Kerr in 2nd place. There's Adrian Zaug in 3rd. The rain still coming down heavily. Oh, half spin for Adam Khan. Should recover from that, I think. Keep it going, Adam. Yeah, he's back on the tarmac. It's Malaysia versus India now. Let's see which one. Oh, and behind, look at this. Portugal and Lebanon. Portugal spins. João Urbano into a half spin, and that puts David Garza of Mexico wide, but I think they've both survived. Into the pits for the first round of pit stops. Don't think there's too much doubt about keeping the wet tyres on, putting a new set of wet tyres on these cars. And that's the battle between 1st and 2nd. Neil Yarni going to retain the lead, is he? I think he is. Great Britain gets out, oh, just behind. How close was that? Great Britain almost snatched the lead there from Team Switzerland. Now the race leader is South Africa, staying out there a bit longer than the others. Germany on the way out. Oh, he clipped the airline there. That might cause a problem. France in the pits, they've still got problems getting this car going. It's a clutch problem confirmed. That's what caused their stalling at the start. And South Africa in from the lead. Now then, vital stop here. They took a risky strategy leaving him out there, but has it worked? That's the question. Where is Switzerland? Where's Great Britain? He's going to come out ahead. South Africa have taken the lead through the first round of pit stops. Look in the gloom in the background. There's Switzerland coming through effectively now in 2nd place. Great Britain in 3rd position. And what great strategy by South Africa to put them ahead. Oh, spinner, that's the Czech Republic. Round he goes, but he gets it back on the island again. Thomas Enger enjoying himself a little too much, perhaps. Meanwhile, Team Canada's taken 6th place there from USA. Rob Wickens still on a charge. USA now under pressure from France. And Duval from the back of the grid. Well, he's up to 8th place. trying to squeeze through, but he can't do it there. Jonathan Somerton covers the inside. Here comes France, hits USA. Big problems. Oh, they can't believe it down there in the pit. USA in trouble, bent suspension, and France continues. For the moment, I wonder how much longer. Now the crowd's getting excited. That's because John Martin, their man for Team Australia, he's on a charge, and he's going to try and take 6th place from Canada. This is where we saw France and USA make contact, but that's a beautiful, clean manoeuvre by John Martin right round the outside, and he gets a thumbs up from Alan Jones. Oh, Sergio Hermanto goes splashing through the puddles. He's pretty soaked inside that cockpit now, but the car actually avoids hitting anything. We're getting ready for the second round of pit stops here, and in comes Adrian Zhao for South Africa, looking good. It's a clean getaway, and he should retain the lead. Adrian Zhao driving superbly after a mistake in the sprint race. He's determined to put it behind him. Australia on their way out now. And meanwhile, Germany on track. Let's just see where he comes out. He's ahead of Germany into 5th place for Australia from 14th on the grid. Great drive this by John Martin. But what's this? Johnny Reid's off. He's in 11th place. Remember, he started from the pit lane. France into the pits for their second stop. They've still got this clutch problem. They're going to have to try and push start him again. Oh, and he's not really going anywhere. They've got real problems, and eventually it's all over for Loic Duval. South Africa continue to lead. Adrian Zhao in commanding form here in the wet conditions. Fingers crossed there on the pit wall, though, because they want to hold on to victory. It's been a while since they've won a race this year. Where's Australia going? That's John Martin, running right off the track. He's in 5th place. Will he lose any places? Team are almost enjoying the ride with him, but he stays in 5th place. They were trying to push for fastest lap. That's what that was about, and he made a little mistake as a result. But he gets back on, no loss of places. South Africa comes through to take victory in the wet here at Eastern Creek in Sydney. A superb win for the driver and team with good tactics. Switzerland through in 2nd place, and it's going to be Robbie Kerr of Great Britain to take 3rd. Brazil in 4th, and it's a fine 5th place, the best result of the season for Australia. And look at Germany and Netherlands, they're having a very close dice. That's for 7th place, which Germany just takes.
Brilliant, fantastic, what a drive, you're a star, thank you.
It's the 2nd win of the season for South Africa, but only the 3rd podium. It seems to be all or nothing. Switzerland take 12 points for 2nd, and with New Zealand down in 9th and France failing to score, there are now just 3 points between those top 3 nations. Brazil and Australia both enjoyed the rain in Sydney to record top 5 results.
New Zealand's Johnny Reid lost the chance to retake the championship lead after an extraordinary mistake left him stranded on the way to the feature race grid.
Chris said to do a standing start, and yeah, I stalled, so that was my mistake.
As the marshals tried to push start the car, a clearly agitated Reid saw his hopes of making it to the grid hoisted away.
You know, I've spoken to the clerk of the course about the incident over there and why I was lifted onto the truck, because there really was no need, in my opinion. There was still 15 minutes or so before the start of the race. We had a little bit of a debate, and yeah, no one was really listening to me inside the car, so that was the way it was.
Despite starting in the pit lane, Reid battled his way through the field to finish 9th and claim 2 vital championship points. From the rains of Sydney, the A1GP drivers crossed the Indian Ocean to South Africa to the heat and humidity of Durban for the season's only street race. The district of KwaZulu-Natal is famous for its Zulu heritage and stunning coastal location, which forms the magnificent backdrop to A1GP's annual street extravaganza. Before their work began, some of the drivers took time out to visit a nearby care centre for disadvantaged children. After an enjoyable day's work and play, it was back to the serious business of racing for the drivers. And with practice over, there was time to greet the children who had enjoyed a special day watching A1GP. There were some new faces in the Durban paddock as Portugal called up Philippe Albuquerque after a difficult season to date. Team Czech gave promising youngster Joseph Kral a chance in their car. Whilst at Brazil, there was a return to A1GP for Bruno Junqueira, who raced here in Durban last season. As the only street circuit on the calendar, the tight, bumpy Durban track poses a unique challenge for the drivers. and one that caused more than a few problems for many during practice. As sprint race qualifying got underway, Ireland's Adam Carroll was the first to hit trouble with a fuel pump problem. With the pressure mounting during the final session, South Africa's Adrian Zytek spun to leave the home team at the back of the grid. Amidst the mayhem, it was Canada's Robert Wickens who surprised everyone by taking his first ever pole position.
Going into the qualifying session, we knew we had a solid car, but to be honest, I surprised myself in that second qualifying. You know, it was a really solid lap and everything felt really good. When I came across 18.1 and I knew the previous best, so it was like an 18.5 or something, I was ecstatic. I'm really excited to start on the front row for the first time.
There was more trouble for South Africa in the feature race qualifying as they were held up by New Zealand to cap their worst qualifying performance of the season. But there were no such problems for Switzerland's Neil Jani, who stormed to his fourth pole position of the season.
Well, it was a tough one. Everybody's very close, and you know it was very easy to make mistakes, and walls got sometimes pretty close. In the past, I had very good qualifyings, but never a good race. So let's hope today it works well.
There was further drama after the session ended when India's Narain Karthikeyan withdrew from race day with an injured wrist gained in this seemingly innocuous-looking off during Friday practice. Team rookie Parthiva Sureshwaran would take his place at the back of the grid.
So Canada takes pole for the sprint race and Brazil enjoy their best grid spot of the season courtesy of Junqueira. New Zealand and Great Britain are behind, then Switzerland in 5th place. New Portuguese driver Albuquerque is 9th on the grid. China lines up 10th and Pakistan is a good 14th. Kral is 17th for the Czech Republic and Ireland and India bring up the rear. It's bright sunshine but high humidity on the streets of Durban as we prepare for the sprint race. Away we go, and Canada leads immediately from pole position. A great start by Rob Wickens. Great Britain going down the outside here, trying to make the move. Oh, there's a bump, as ever, New Zealand. It is this time. That is a surprise, and it causes a bit of a traffic jam. Malaysia spins to the inside. Oh, and they get going again. And amazingly, we've only ended up with 2 cars stuck down there at the first corner. Well, into the pits has come New Zealand. That initial bump could cost Johnny Reid very dear indeed. Up front, oh, another bump. That's Brazil into the back of Switzerland. What's going on with Junqueira? Looks like he might be struggling now because here's China closing right up to the back of the Brazilian car, and Frankie Chang's going through. He does so. That's 4th place for Team China, and Brazil definitely in trouble. Look at its front wing. It's dragging along the ground. That's not going to last very long. And Emerson Fittipaldi looks rueful. He's not happy. That promising grid position has all been thrown away. Host nation South Africa down the inside into the hairpin. Good, clean pass. Taking Ireland and getting another place after qualifying quite poorly on Saturday, and now coming on the attack again, trying to take Italy. Yeah, another good clean pass. That puts South Africa into 14th place. Brazil on track. Oh, not for long! Bam! Into the wall goes Bruno Junqueira. What a disappointment for the experienced Brazilian. And it's all over in this race for Team Brazil. Junqueira climbs out of the car. He's okay. And we're ready to go racing. It's Canada that leads on the restart, from Great Britain in 2nd place, Switzerland in 3rd, and China holding on to a strong 4th position. Heading down to the hairpin once again. Canada just about controlling things. Look at Netherlands and Germany virtually side by side there. Australia going a bit deep into the corner, maybe losing a place. Switzerland locking up a break, but here comes Germany again on the attack, trying to get past the Netherlands. Oh, not quite. Netherlands almost in the wall. Blekemolen just manages to save it. Here comes Amamuller again. He's hit Netherlands. They're off. They're both in the wall. My goodness. Netherlands and Germany tangle in the final corner, and Jan Lammers is deeply unimpressed. The red flag has brought this race to an early conclusion, but Canada have emerged victorious. It's the first ever win for Rob Wickens. The youngster has been so impressive this season, and it's Canada's 2nd ever victory in A1GP. Superb stuff from the youngster. Great Britain takes 2nd place, and Neil Jani for Switzerland is 3rd. China finished well up in 4th position, and that red flag means that the Netherlands were reinstated in 5th place, but Germany were excluded for their part in the incident.
There was no doubting Jeroen Blekemolen's anger after the accident that ended the sprint race. and equally no doubt as to who he felt was to blame.
Well, it's just incredible. This guy has been pushing off people every race. This time, you know, we're racing street circuits. You brake on the absolute maximum, and then he just knocks you in the rear and you go off.
I tried to overtake after the restart a couple of times the Netherlands cars because he was quite slow. And then last turn, I don't know, he almost stopped in this corner. I don't know why. I couldn't brake it because he was in the middle of the road, and then I hit him a little bit at the rear, and then I went to the barrier.
Last time he did something crazy as well, twice in Australia, and he didn't want to say anything to me, so, you know, I don't want to speak to him anymore, never in my life. He's just crazy.
Nothing is planned before that I wanted to take him out or he wants to take me out. So it's a racing incident. I know next situation will be different, but nobody knows how it will end.
For the feature race here in Durban, Switzerland's on pole from sprint winner Canada. New Zealand is well up in third place. The Netherlands and Germany are close to one another once again. Australia is in 10th place, but Adrian Zaug is down in 15th for South Africa, and he has plenty of work to do to even get into the points. Lights out, away we go, and Switzerland gets away well, but Canada makes a poor getaway. Rob Wickens not fast off the line. That puts New Zealand and Great Britain up there battling for second. Into the first corner. Can they get round here cleanly? So many cars, so little space. Can they do it? So far, so good. Oh no, car in the air. There's the hold-up. And South Africa's caught in the traffic jam like so many others. And now the marshals trying to move them out of the way. China ended up into the wall there, but other cars involved, like Italy, Mexico, the United States, all involved in that incident. Lebanon as well, just getting going with a damaged front wing. Well, the safety car is out there, no great surprise there. It's Yarni of Switzerland leading Reed of New Zealand, and there's lots of activity in the pit lane to repair those cars that were involved in that first corner accident. Mexico on their way back out once again, and we're ready for the restart. Switzerland leads them away once again with New Zealand in second place, Brazil up to third. That was a good first lap by Bruno Junqueira, getting ahead of Oliver Jarvis of Great Britain and heading down towards that first turn. Let's hope that they can get through it safely this time. On the attack, Australia's clipped the back of Germany. Germany spins. Oh, an Islander taken into the wall by Australia as well. It's another traffic jam at turn one, and Alan Jones, well, he's looking at the damage. So is Michael Amamuller, and there's more problems there for Satrio Hermanto. Safety car on circuit again. Ireland in trouble. Adam Khan out of his car, and it looks as though it could be over for John Martin. Restart once again, and it's Switzerland making the break once more from Team New Zealand. Bruno Junqueira of Brazil on the attack. Then Oliver Jarvis of Great Britain. Canada, after that initial poor start, now trying to pick up some places. Philippe Albuquerque driving for Portugal. He's going well, and he's got himself ahead of Malaysia. Good move by the young Portuguese driver, already showing good pace in the A1GP car. Into the pits for the first round of stops. The two leaders, Switzerland and New Zealand. It's going to be the battle in the pit lane, an absolutely crucial battle here. The Kiwis so fast on their pit stops throughout the season so far. Switzerland might feel the pressure. Great Britain in as well. Who's it going to be coming out ahead? It's a good stop from Switzerland, good stop from Great Britain. It's a slow stop from New Zealand. Eventually gets going. Oh, he's hit another car. He was released into the path of the Mexican car. Disaster for New Zealand. Rob Wickens for Team Canada in the lead of the race. He's not stopped yet. New Zealand gets out eventually, but what a disaster for them. Rob Wickens into the pits now from the lead of this race. Now, where's he going to come back out here? Switzerland should keep control, I think. Yes, there's Neil Yarni flashing ahead of Canada, but Canada's done really well. He's effectively overtaken Great Britain and, of course, New Zealand, who had that problem earlier. Oliver Jarvis finds himself behind the Canadian car. Team France into the pits. Let's see where Loic Duval comes out. He could be part of that lead group. Away he goes. There's Switzerland, and France rejoining behind Great Britain. So rejoining in fourth place, and Loic Duval looking to score useful points here for Team France. South Africa on the move, trying to get past the Czech Republic into turn one. That's 13th place now for Adrian Zaug. USA through the left hand. Oh, slide there from Jonathan Somerton. He's under pressure now from China. China does take advantage of that. Well, they could be knocking on the door of scoring points here. China will slide from Frankie, but a big wide moment from Team Italy as well. And here comes China on the inside. Yeah, he's through. That's 9th place for Frankie Chang. Brazil now under attack from Team China, and I tell you what, Frankie Chang's having one of the drives of his life. Into 8th place goes the red and yellow car, and just look at the reaction in the pit lane. South Africa still gaining places. He started 15th on the grid, did Zaug, and he gets past Team Italy. Look at the reaction from the home fans, always so supportive here in Durban. Into the pits, the second round of stops for the leaders. Crucial time then. Neil Yarni in from the lead for Team Switzerland, but right up there with him, Team Canada, Great Britain. Oh, and Canada out ahead once again of Great Britain, so they maintain that position. Team USA out of the race, disappointment there. Into the pits, France. They've come in a bit later than the others. Now, where will they re-emerge? Leaders coming through the final corner. France on their way out of the pits already. I think Switzerland and Canada will stay ahead. But what about Great Britain? France take the place from Great Britain. That's effectively taken third place for Loic Duval, although Jarvis wants it back. Where's he going? Disappearing almost down the escape road. He recovers. Good stop by the French crew. Troubles for Ireland. Looks as though it might all be over here for Adam Carroll. Switzerland still leading, lapping Lebanon here. Canada tucked in. Oh, and Canada spun. He's clipped the wall. Round comes France, manages to avoid him, thankfully, and he's going to try and reach. Oh my goodness, they've clipped each other. That was Great Britain trying to come round the corner just as Canada was trying to get out of the way, and Ollie Jarvis has damaged the car. I think we've lost both of them. Well, no one can quite believe that. There's the damage. There's Jarvis trying to get back round to the pits, but he's waving people through. Rob Wickens can't believe it. Switzerland still leading as we come round to take the restart once again. It's a good restart too because Lebanon has held up the other cars. France in second, Portugal in third. Albuquerque going very well on his debut for the team. On board with South Africa down the inside of the Netherlands. Oh, he's made contact. Big contact, and there's more behind as well. They all pile in together. Oh my goodness. Oh, and the Dutch car's on fire. Look at that. Oh, this is turning into a disaster. And Jan Lammers just can't believe his eyes. The Italian car involved, so's the Brazilian car. Yellow flags everywhere around the course. My goodness, a real drama towards the end of the race here. Excitement at Portugal though, and the red flag comes out to stop the race, and they are confirmed in third place. What a result for Team Portugal, but it's win number 3 of the season for Neil Yarni of Switzerland, and it's France's 7th podium of season 3. It's the first podium for Portugal since Laguna Seca in season 1. On Albuquerque's debut in A1GP. Well, behind the top 3, the red flag once again allows the stricken Netherlands car to score points, while Malaysia have their best result of the season so far, thanks to Farouz Fauzi. And Italy scores for the first time in 9 races. And it's made a difference in the points, because race winner Switzerland now lead by 10 from France. But the big losers in Durban and New Zealand, scoring just 1 point from 2 races, they now lie third, some 20 points off the lead.
From Durban, the A1GP paddock travelled across the Atlantic to the most densely populated city in the world, to Mexico City. A mighty metropolis full of colour, bustling streets and proud architecture awaited the drivers, a heritage which includes one of the most famous sporting arenas in the world. Before they took to the track, the drivers challenged some local celebrities to the beautiful game at the home of the 1986 World Cup final, the Azteca Stadium. In the paddock, France brought in the experienced Jonathan Cochet as they looked to maintain their championship challenge. Lebanon gave Jimmy Obi a debut as they continued their quest for a championship point, whilst Philippe Salaquada was another to get a chance in the Czech Republic seat. Practice and qualifying saw the Mexican crowd in high spirits, but home favourite David Garza struggled under the pressure and would start the sprint race from the back row of the grid. It was South Africa's Adrian Zaug who rose to the challenge in qualifying, setting a scorching pace to claim his 4th pole position of the season.
When I just saw the times after, I thought, okay, yeah, it was really, really close. But when you're out there, you don't really think about it, just try to get all the corners right, and that's what I did, and the car worked pretty well, so I had a really good session.
In feature race qualifying, there was another disaster for Mexico's David Garza, with this off, leaving him last on the grid. Through the final corner mayhem, it was Canada's Robert Wickens, celebrating his 19th birthday, who flew to take his 2nd pole position of the season.
I guess you can say it was a pretty good birthday present. We have improved as a team and we've developed as a team, and I think now we can be considered one of the consistent top-running teams.
It's South Africa's 4th pole position of the season, and New Zealand's title battle continues from 2nd place. USA's a superb third ahead of Switzerland, Great Britain and Canada. Bruno Junqueira is 8th for Brazil, Italy's Eduardo Piscopo is 10th, but Germany's back in 13th, and France with Jonathan Cochet down in 16th. Jimmy Orby makes his debut for Lebanon, starting 19th. We have beautiful conditions here at the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez as Adrian Zaub leads the field around in preparation for the start of the sprint race. It's quite slow and steady as he begins to pick up the pace and the sprint race gets underway. All cars all over the place, spreading around in Pakistan, where they're going up over the back of another car. Oh my goodness, several cars involved there. Wesley Orr, the rookie driver for Team South Africa, watching to see what's going on. His man is still leading this race, but look behind, battle between Ireland and Great Britain. Great Britain with a front wing wedged under the front of that car. And there's debris on the circuit. That is the German rear wing being taken away, and the red flag comes out. No great surprise. The German car looking very, very battered there. Crews returning to the grid. There's front wing damage on the British car of Jarvis, also to Australia's. But what actually happened?
When the safety car went in, the pace was very, very slow, too slow, because we had to actually put the clutch down. And then when the front guys went, everybody went, and then they slowed up again. And I think GB just didn't quite see them slow up, and I saw him hit the GAN front and was just able to avoid it.
I'm absolutely furious. I mean, Adrian Zaub, who controls the pace, he's the leader of the race. He went, we were up into third gear, and he braked, causing a big accident, and quite frankly I think he should be taken off the grid. That was ridiculous.
Well, for me it was basically like each and every start. I have no idea what the guys behind are doing, but I just saw on television and just looked as if they were a little bit nervous behind and just got on the power too early and never braked, so I can't help it.
Repairs are continuing on the Pakistan car, but the German machine is still in the pits, and it doesn't look as though the reigning champions will make the restart here. The crowd anticipating a second attempt at the start. South Africa and New Zealand lead the pack out of Perel Tada. On board with Team Canada, looking for a good, clean getaway this time. Let's hope it is clean. Yes, looking much, much better than last time around. South Africa leads the pack, and look how close it is as we head down towards the first corner, touching the back virtually of the South African car is Team USA. Ireland going to the inside and really kicking up the dust. USA and Great Britain side by side, right behind South Africa. A long, long run to this first corner, and here comes New Zealand trying to go around the outside. No, can't quite do it. South Africa leads into that first turn. Great Britain, though, sweeping round the outside of Neil Yarney. Switzerland there, and USA passed by a couple of cars, including Ireland. Jonathan Summerton just boxed out of the way. It is South Africa leading. New Zealand in second place. They come down to this chicane, revised for this season. It's a tight entry here. They didn't have to run the chicane last year. It was a clean run, and now they've got to tighten through this section. Oh, and there's a bump in the background. That was Australia, and it's caused some debris that others have tried to avoid. Into the pits has come John Martin. That little bump at the chicanes cost him dear, and also we've got Lebanon into the pits as well. Battle for the lead between South Africa and New Zealand, and look at Johnny Reid sizing up the back of that South African car. Closer and closer he gets. He's going for it into the first corner, and I'm not sure Zaub can do anything. He looks up, he goes straight on. Oh, there's a problem with that car. There's a problem. I think he's got a punctured left rear tyre. That's what it is. He knows there's a problem. It's not that one, Adrian. It's another one. Another little race going on here between France and India. This is for 13th place. Jonathan Cochet on his debut for A1. Oh, and that's Czech Republic. Philippe Salaquada, his first event of season 3. He was in 15th place before that little spin. Racing going on now for second place. It's Great Britain versus Switzerland. Neil Yarney moving to the outside. Can he do what New Zealand did earlier? No, he can't. He slots back into third place, and there's some side-by-side with Portugal and USA behind. Into the chicane. Malaysia straight cut it, and China in a bit of trouble. He can't get round. Come on, get round, get round. No, Frankie's a bit stuck there. New Zealand come through to take the victory in the sprint race here in Mexico. It's win number 4 of the season, but it's the first win in 6 individual races. Great Britain through in second place, and Switzerland take third. Johnny Reid bounces out of his car. He's delighted. It's his 7th race win in the A1GP record books. Great Britain and Switzerland share the podium, while Ireland and USA score useful points. Alex Young went from 14th on the grid to finish 9th, while the point for fastest lap went to Frankie Chang of China.
As the teams prepared for the afternoon's feature race, the Mexican fans turned the paddock and grandstands into a race day carnival as the sights, sounds and smells of Mexico City came to A1GP.
¡Yeah, México!
Canada is on pole for the second time this season as we prepare for the feature race. Switzerland, Germany and Great Britain are all near the front, with Ireland and New Zealand on row 3. South Africa starts 10th this time, Netherlands are down in 13th place, and Brazil all the way down in 18th position. We've got thousands of Mexican fans soaking up the atmosphere as Canada leads away from pole position in the feature race in Mexico City. It's a good start by Rob Wickens. He sweeps right in front of Team Switzerland's Neil Yarni, but also on the attack is Oliver Jarvis for Great Britain. Further back is New Zealand, and once again this long start-finish straight gives them plenty of time to jostle for position. It's Canada leading, Switzerland into second place, and Great Britain in third, New Zealand in fourth, chased by Ireland, Germany, Malaysia trying to go around the outside as well. And it's tight racing, and Malaysia, oh, big mistake, but he's managed to just shortcut that chicane and come back through without any damage. Into the pits, Team Italy, 11th in the sprint race, but problems here in the feature race. And Rob Wickens seeking his second win of the year, in control at the moment. Neil Yarni in second place for Team Switzerland, still trying to open up that points advantage that they have at the top of the table. Through the chicane, it's tight through here, and Malaysia into a bit of trouble. Got to watch out, otherwise he'll be passed by Netherlands. And in fact, I think Amamuller has got a great run. He is going through. Nothing that Alex Young could do about that. And Jeroen Bleekemolen takes advantage. Into the pits, Team Australia. John Martin looks as though he just had that one tyre change. The problem for him early in the race. He's en route again. Up front, it's the battle between Canada and Switzerland. This is for the lead, and Switzerland moves to the outside. Could be the move made. Yes, it is. Neil Yarni sweeps ahead and passes. James Robinson likes that one. So does Max Velty. Spin up. That's Lebanon. He spun up at the top end of the circuit. Into the pits come the leaders. It's Switzerland and Canada in at the same time. Crucial stop once again. Neil Yarni did the work on track. Now his team do the work in the pits, and they keep him ahead of Canada. Good race going on for third place. It's Great Britain at the moment. Ollie Jarvis fending off Johnny Reid. Oh, mistake from Jarvis. He shortcuts the chicane. Shouldn't get into too much trouble. No advantage gained. He's coming into the pits. So is New Zealand. Almost runs into the back of the British car. Ireland joining them into the pit lane at the same time. Once again, we've got the battle of the pit crews. All of them going to work. Now watch Team Ireland. They are one of the fastest pit crews in the business. They put so much effort into it. But Great Britain fast, and the Kiwis are always quick. Ireland away already, passing Great Britain. This is a great stop by the Irish crew. Where's New Zealand? There's New Zealand. Still not going. Go on, go on. Oh, he's lost several places there. And look at Ireland rejoining in front of Canada. So Ireland into second place, Canada now third, Great Britain in fourth place, and New Zealand the big loser. Here comes Great Britain at the inside of Canada. Good move by Ollie Jarvis, determined, aggressive. Rob Wickens just gave him space, and they're up into third. Switzerland leading this race pretty easily at the moment. Oh, we got a mistake by Germany there, and where's he going? And New Zealand too. Johnny Reid's got it all wrong. Well, Colin Giltrap is dumbfounded. And Johnny Reid in the barriers and not going anywhere at all. Battle for fifth place, and USA sweeps round Germany. Jonathan Somerton on the move, and Malaysia and Brazil here racing over 11th place. Side-by-side action between two experienced competitors, and they're still hard at it. Junqueira just takes advantage. USA still on the move, now trying to take fourth place from Canada, and he's through. Jonathan Somerton on a charge here. Germany now trying to do the same on Canada. He's down the inside, but not by enough, and they make contact. That's the front wing on the German car. We're ready for the second round of pit stops now, and Switzerland are in from the lead. Ireland not too far behind. And once again, let's see how quick this Irish crew is. I would think that Switzerland should still have the advantage. Just waiting for those tyres to be changed. Ireland looking very, very quick. They're en route. And Adam Carroll heading down pit lane. Where's Switzerland? Still not going. Now they are going. Ireland are right there with them. They're side by side exiting the pit. But Switzerland's on that inner lane. They must get into the outer lane. Otherwise they'll be penalised for that. And he slots back into second place. Ireland have taken the lead of the race after an amazing pit stop by the crew. Switzerland could be in trouble there for drawing alongside the Irish car, and the Swiss team watching that, wondering what's going to happen next. China on the inside here, taking 14th place from France, and he's done it. Yes, that's good stuff. New Zealand are outside of the points at the moment. Race leader Team Ireland under attack from Switzerland, but Switzerland have picked up a penalty for that pit lane infringement.
No, box. Push as hard as you can now. Drive through penalty. Dyke.
carb.
Switzerland can't quite believe it, but that is the reason, because they were on that inner lane on that second pit stop, and here comes Neil Yanni. To me, he's not impressed, is he? To make that drive-through penalty, dropping them down the order. This now becomes the battle for second place. It's Great Britain versus USA. Last year, it was the battle for victory between Oliver Jarvis and Jonathan Somerton. Now they're fighting over second, and Somerton's almost got it. He's trying to go around the outside. Jarvis just shuts the door on him. Great stuff from two hungry, aggressive drivers. Switzerland all the way down in the order. Oh, contact with Pakistan! Trying to get the final point for 10th place. He's gone from dominant lead to devastating disappointment. But it's the opposite at Team Ireland. Here comes Adam Carroll to take victory. Balmain Team Ireland's Adam Carroll wins in A1. It's the 9th different nation to win this year, the 15th nation in A1GP history. And it's St Patrick's Day tomorrow. A fantastic achievement for Adam Carroll. It's also a double podium for Great Britain's Oliver Jarvis in Mexico on his last outing for the team this year. Jonathan Somerton gives USA their best result of the season. Blake Mullen came from 13th on the grid to finish 4th, and China gained the final point courtesy of the Switzerland-Pakistan clash on the last lap. The champagne will flow for a long time tonight. Ireland's joint seat holder Mark Gallagher is over the moon, and just when it looks as though Switzerland would take an almost unassailable series lead, that drive-through penalty has kept both New Zealand and France in the chase for the championship.
As Ireland celebrated their first ever victory in A1GP, team principal Mark Gallagher was left speechless by his team's achievements.
I'm very emotional. What a day for Ireland.
Well done, boys.
But whilst the Irish were celebrating, there was confusion and then anger at Team Switzerland over the decision to give Neil Yanni a drive-through penalty after exiting the pits in the inner lane.
Well, I think the race control wants to make the championship more interesting, and this drive-through, I mean, that's crazy. Even Adam Carroll let go the pit limiter earlier, so that's why he overtook me.
I looked good when I got to the line. We came out side by side, but I got the jump on him. He shouldn't have really come out where he came out. That's not his fault. It's whoever does the lollipop for them.
Differing opinions from two drivers, but there was no doubting Yanni's opinion on the race organisers.
I don't call this a championship anymore. For me, that's just done by purpose. You know, they're just going to control it, and for me, that's no racing. That's no racing.
From the heat and altitude of Central America, the drivers once again headed east to China for the penultimate event of the series. Once known as the Pearl of the Orient, Shanghai's old towns show glimpses of the more traditional lifestyle, whilst the skyscrapers reach towards a more modern future. After a pointless weekend in Mexico, France brought in ex-Formula One racer Frank Montani in a final bid to keep their championship hopes alive. Team Mexico were also hoping to put their home event behind them, and they gave an A1GP debut to Jorge Guetters. Whilst over at Brazil, former rookie Janji Negrão was given his first chance in the race seat. Sprint race qualifying saw Portugal's Felipe Albuquerque look set to score his nation's first ever A1GP pole. But in the dying seconds, it was the championship leader Neil Yanni who snatched the top spot.
We were a little bit struggling in the first segment, as I was only third. But then we changed some things on the car, and it was great afterwards. So, a really perfect car.
Feature race qualifying saw Jonathan Somerton take the USA's highest ever position in second. But once again, it was Neil Yanni who secured pole.
It's a standing start, and well, I just try to get a good one as normally and try to pull away, but you know, we never know what happens.
So the lineup for the sprint race here in Shanghai in China sees Switzerland on pole position, Portugal alongside on the front row, then it's Canada and India's Narain Karthikeyan. New Zealand lines up 5th, USA is 6th, while Great Britain is back in 10th place, Australia is 13th, the Netherlands 17th from France, and new driver Jorge Guetters brings up the rear for Mexico. It's a crucial stage of the championship, the sprint race in Shanghai, over 10 laps of this 4.6-kilometre version of the full circuit. We're away, and it's Switzerland taking the lead initially. We're on board with Team China, trying to find a position. Oh, and there's a car off in the middle. It's New Zealand. New Zealand into the wall on the outside. We're on board Great Britain. That's Germany through on the inside. Michael Amamuller gets past Robbie Kerr. Switzerland lead, Canada in second. And Robbie Kerr right in the middle of a group of cars. Italy to one side, South Africa on the other side. Very, very tight through there. And somehow they've all managed to get through. USA in trouble. Now they could well have been involved with New Zealand. Something happened there at the start. New Zealand shot off to one side. USA are going slowly. South Africa versus Italy and Great Britain. That dice is still going on as Robbie Kerr tries to come back on Team Italy. That gets into a slide. I'm not sure he's going to go through. They're all battling over ninth. Into the pits has come USA. Damaged front wing. He's out of the car is Somerton. We're on board with Team China. Trying to get past Ireland. He's down the inside into that hairpin at the end of the long straight. He's there as long as he hasn't overrun the corner, and China gains the place. But there is Johnny Reid out of the race. Switzerland leading and coming through the final turn. It's victory to Team Switzerland in the first race of the day. Canada come through to take second position, and it's Portugal through in third place. Malaysia in the background are going to take fourth ahead of India, and it's Germany that's going to come home in sixth place. It's win number 4 of the season for Switzerland, and it may be the crucial victory, with New Zealand failing to score. Fourth is Alex Young's best finish of the season, and Great Britain beats France, but gains only 2 points in the race for third in the championship.
New Zealand's Johnny Reid saw his championship hopes take a serious hit after this dramatic accident with the USA's Jonathan Somerton.
We just touched and it happened so quickly. I went round and bang, it's all over.
Basically, you know, I was driving in a straight line, and I guess Johnny decided to come over and try and pull over.
After Switzerland's victory, Reid was left to reflect on an incident that leaves him with a mountain to climb in the championship chase.
That's the way it goes. It's a tough sport, motorsport sometimes, but it's how you bounce back.
And it wasn't just Reid who was ruining the crash, as Jonathan Somerton was left struggling to make the grid for the afternoon's feature race.
I don't know what happened to my hand. I just lost all the steering and everything, and my hand is really throbbing at the moment, so I'm going to go check it out at the medical center.
It's a double pole position for Switzerland here in Shanghai, and alongside Team USA, Jonathan Somerton is fit to race. On the second row, we've got Portugal and Ireland ahead of India and Malaysia. South Africa line up in 9th place, Canada in 12th position, the Czech Republic in 14th, but the Netherlands all the way down in 18th position, and China on home soil in 20th. All set for race 18 of the season. Away we go. USA making a good start, but so did Switzerland. On board with Ireland on the attack immediately down towards the first corner. Can he gain a place almost on the grass? It's USA that leads. Switzerland in second place. India up into third place, and the rest of them all jostling for position right behind. On board with Team China versus the Netherlands on the left-hand side there. It's pretty tight there. You're on Blake Mullen trying to come back at him, but I think he may well have got the move made. Oh, no, he hasn't. Blake Mullen goes right around the outside. A little bit of a lock-up, but he makes it work. USA, Switzerland, India a little further back. Look at the attack from Canada on Italy. Rob Wickens down the inside, but he's overshot the corner, and Italy comes back at him. Up front, USA just maintaining an advantage of a car or 2 lengths over Team Switzerland. Good drive so far from Jonathan Somerton. Thoughtful Max Velti on the pit wall there. Portugal coming through to take third. That's from India. As long as he can hold on to it, yes, he can. Philippe Albuquerque passes Narain Kartikeyan. Thumbs up from Lewis on the pit wall. And India also looking to be under some pressure from Team Ireland here. Look at this. Ireland moving one way, then the other. Adam Carroll going to the inside. 2 new winners in Season 3 of A1GP, dicing here for position. And Ireland have taken it. Into the pits then, the race leader for his first stop. It's Jonathan Somerton of USA. A lot of other cars coming in, New Zealand in as well. A whole group, India into the pits at the same time. And now as they head back out, that's a great stop by New Zealand. They've got ahead of India. Malaysia tucked in behind, but what's going on for Canada? Oh, they can't get that left rear tyre fitted. And this is going to drop Canada right out of the reckoning. A shake of the head from the crew there. Switzerland into the pits now. Coming in from second place, remember. Portugal also in. Neil Yarni looking to try and gain the advantage on Team USA. Philippe Albuquerque on his way once more. Yanni also en route. Gets out, stays ahead of Portugal. And Ireland also away well. Another good stop from the crew. Onto the circuit they come. Where is USA? There is USA in front still of Switzerland. No change up front. But what's this? Problems.
Gear is gone. Drive without second. Drive without second.
No second gear for Neil Yanni. And now Max Velti is looking somewhat concerned. Anxious moments on the pit wall. We're on board with Alex Young attacking India. This is for 9th place. Sneaks down the inside. And these two experienced drivers once again wheel to wheel. USA has a very comfortable advantage. Switzerland obviously struggling with that loss of second gear and under pressure there from Portugal. Also Ireland in there in 4th position. And the next round of pit stops could be crucial. USA into the pits. Once again, they're looking for a smooth, clean stop. They've never won in A1GP. This could be their day. And Somerton lights up the rear tyres, and he's on his way once more. Portugal gets going. We're waiting, though, for Switzerland to come in. Here is Switzerland, with Ireland and New Zealand all coming in at the same time. Now, which team's going to be fastest? New Zealand and Ireland consistently fast throughout the season. Ireland already en route. But not Switzerland. Now Switzerland get going. Bit of a slow stop, and New Zealand's going to beat Switzerland as well. Johnny Reid just slices in front of Team Switzerland. Well, very interesting. This could keep the championship alive from New Zealand's point of view. Managing to get ahead of that Swiss car is crucial. Great Britain coming under attack from Team Germany. This is for 11th place. A surprise to see both nations just outside the points. Great Britain still looking for 3rd in the championship. France are ahead on the road. Robbie Kerr trying to fend off Michael Amamuller. Oh, and he only just manages to do it. USA, P1. It's looking good for Jonathan Somerton to take his first ever victory and the USA's first ever win in A1GP. What an achievement by the team. Portugal, a fantastic 2nd place. 3rd goes to Team Ireland, Adam Carroll on the podium once again, and 4th position goes to New Zealand. And by finishing ahead of Switzerland, that keeps the Kiwis' championship hopes alive. Switzerland crosses the line without second gear.
Johnny boy! Yeah! You're the man!
Jonathan Somerton takes the We the People car to victory, and in some style, winning by over 9 seconds from Portugal. It's Ireland that comes home in 3rd position. Well, it's time for the party to begin for Team USA. He finished 2nd in Mexico in Season 2, but now he's gone one better and taken the victory here in Shanghai in China. Behind the top 3, Johnny Reid in a vital 4th place, but Frank Montagny finishing down in 8th place for France means they are now counted out as a possible championship winner. The champagne sprayed by Philippe Albuquerque as well after that great result for Portugal. But in terms of the championship, let's see what difference it makes. Switzerland have a big lead now, but New Zealand could still mathematically win the title. France are out of it, could still be under pressure from Great Britain in 4th.
After the drama of Shanghai, the A1GP teams boarded the plane for the final time as they headed back to Europe for the season finale in Great Britain. Just half an hour from the famous tourist mecca of London, the Brands Hatch circuit is set amidst the picturesque English county of Kent. As racing got underway, Mexico went for their 5th driver change of a difficult season, David Martinez being the latest to pilot the team's car. There were also several series returnees. James Hinchcliffe was at the wheel of the Canada car for the first time since Brno, whilst Lebanon's Khalil Bashir and Malaysia's Farouz Fauzi made their first start since the Durban street race. Whilst most eyes were on the championship duel between Switzerland and New Zealand, it was local hero Robbie Kerr who set the pace in sprint race qualifying.
It's great to be back on pole position here at Brands Hatch. It's great in front of all the British crowd. They're so enthusiastic and so supportive. I'm sure with all the red, white and blue in the crowd, it's going to give us a bit more in the race.
In feature race qualifying, USA's Jonathan Somerton was lucky to survive this early spin. Great Britain looked set to make it a double pole position until the dying seconds of the final session saw India's Narain Karthikeyan complete a stunning lap to take the team's first ever A1GP pole.
I think we were threatening all weekend. We were strong and put the lap together. And on my final run, everything came together nicely, and maybe I could have gone a couple of tenths quicker, but pretty decent lap, I think.
The lineup in the sprint race sees the host nation on pole position from the United States on the outside. Switzerland and Ireland are on the second row. France is hoping to hold third overall from 8th place on the grid. New Zealand lines up 10th, while Hinchcliffe lines up 15th for Canada, and Janji Negrão is 19th for Brazil. On board with Robbie Kerr, looking back at Switzerland and Ireland on that second row of the grid as we get set to start at Brands Hatch. Kerr gets away well, the United States going with him, Jonathan Somerton, and we're on board with Adam Carroll. He's challenging for third place. He's trying to go around the outside of Paddock Hill Bend. He does it! Right round the outside of Team Switzerland. Neil Yarni is pushed back down to 4th position. Great Britain leads, USA in 2nd place. Look at the jostling behind. France trying to move up on the inside there with Germany. Nicolas Frost looking at that with his father Alain, and the field makes its way onto the Cooper Straight. Malaysia now trying to get past Australia. Lebanon in the background going wide. Khalil Bashir just running onto the grass, and they sweep up through Surtees, this pageant of colour, climbing onto the Grand Prix loop at Brands Hatch. Close battling between Brazil and Italy. That's for 17th place. On board with Eduardo Piscopo, but it looks like Janji Negrão of Brazil has got that position. Robbie Kerr leads for Great Britain. Good battles going on further back. New Zealand down in 8th place there, looking to try and move up, but he's gone wide. Johnny Reid makes a slight mistake, gets back on the tarmac. But he knows if he stays where he is now, the title will belong to Switzerland. They're in 4th. That's enough for the championship in this race. Out of the final corner, Robbie Kerr is going to take victory on home soil. Great Britain wins, USA finishes in 2nd place, Ireland in 3rd, and Switzerland finish in 4th and take the title. Robbie Kerr celebrating. He's won at Brands Hatch in the past. It's always been one of his favourite circuits, and he loves to receive the applause from the crowd. Look at the smile on Robbie Kerr's face. He takes victory ahead of Somerton and Carroll. Neil Yarni in 4th, ahead of India, Portugal, South Africa and New Zealand down in 8th.
Great Britain weren't the only team celebrating after the sprint race, as Neil Yarni's 4th place was enough to make Switzerland the new World Cup of Motorsport champions.
Oh, it's fantastic. I think it's the biggest title for me so far. And I'm just speechless at the moment.
Team principal Max Velti, though, was far from speechless.
Such a great feeling, you cannot believe it. To represent Switzerland all over the globe and to actually do it it's fantastic. And you have to realize what we are doing here is writing another piece of Switzerland's motorsport history. It's absolutely outstanding.
The packed Brands Hatch grandstands were enjoying all of the glamour of the A1GP grid as the teams prepared for the final event of the season amidst a carnival atmosphere.
The final race of the season sees Narain Karthikeyan of India on pole position for the first time, ahead of Great Britain. Then it's Switzerland and Ireland. France are 6th on the grid. China are down in 8th place. The USA this time only 9th on the grid. Czech Republic is 15th ahead of Italy. New Zealand's all the way down in 17th place, and their 2nd place in the standings could be under attack. Away we go, India up front, New Zealand starting all the way down in 17th place and blasting past Brazil immediately. India under attack from Great Britain. Narain Karthikeyan and Robbie Kerr know this Brands Hatch circuit so well, the pair of them, and Kerr's going to cut back up the inside into the hairpin. He's going for it, no. India cuts to the inside. Robbie Kerr now forced to try around the outside, but Narain Karthikeyan gives him a little squeeze, says you're not coming past here, and Adam Carroll for Team Ireland trying to join in the fun and games with Switzerland right behind in 4th place. Back on board with Robbie Kerr along the backstretch into the left-hander at Surtees. India able to just ease away slightly, and everybody's made it through the first couple of corners. No, there's Janji Negrão of Brazil. He's gone wide, but he's kept it off the barrier. Look at this jostling up to one of the quickest corners on the circuit. Great Britain and Ireland, wonderful stuff, and the team's enjoying it in the pit garage. Back on board with Robbie Kerr, and still Adam Carroll hounding him for that 2nd place. Oh, over the curb, that is Khalil Bashir, he loses it. Oh, and he keeps it off the barrier. It was the Brazilian car that somehow avoided piling into him. Khalil hoping for a push to get restarted. Oh, but the Brazilian car did clip him. I wondered if he had, and into the pit. Look at this, Pakistan versus Australia. Oh, they banged wheels on one of the fastest sections of the track. They're both off, slamming into the barrier. Adam Khan out of the race, so is John Martin. Thankfully, both drivers are uninjured. John Martin making his way across, I think, to remonstrate. If there's some remonstrating to be done, Alan Jones wants to be involved. Into the pits comes Team India from the lead of the race. Now, interestingly, Great Britain has stayed out there. They're going for another fast lap. India are turned around very quickly, so are Ireland, but not quite fast enough to beat India. Very evenly matched on their pit stops. But Great Britain now in, having spent an extra lap out on circuit. Has this worked for Robbie Kerr? Has he been able to take advantage? He needs a fast pit stop here. He's on his way. Where is Team India? Coming down the main straight. It's going to be close. Not that close. Great Britain takes the lead. Look at the response. Fabulous stop by the British crew. Great Britain now leads. Oh, and India's gone wide. Adam Carroll gets up the inside. India cuts back. There's contact between them. India gets sideways. Oh, and I think there may be damage to the front of the Irish car. Look at the front wing. Adam Carroll still challenging, still looking for a way past. But there could well be a little bit of damage as a result of the contact at Druids. Up through Surtees they come. Still looking to get past the Indian car. Narendra Karthikeyan having to defend. Up to the outside goes Carroll, but it's so tough to pass here. Look at the front wing on the Irish car. It's at a strange angle. There's definitely been some damage, but he still can't get past India. And you have to wonder if that front wing is going to work as effectively as it should. Michael Amamuller has caught them for Team Germany, and Adam Carroll slides through Westfield, only just holding control. Up the straight they go. Oh, the wing's gone. The wing's gone on the Irish car. He's going to have to try and get it back to the pits now. Oh, and it's punctured the front tyre. How's he going to make it round? The answer is he may not. He runs wide, lets cars go through. He's got to try and limp back to the pit lane. And a possible podium finish out of the window here for Team Ireland. He's coming round. Oh, no, he's gone straight into the gravel trap at Clearways. He's trying to get to the pit lane entry. And he crosses the track, and he does make it in. But he's lost so much time now. A huge disappointment for the Irish team with so many supporters here today. Race still being led by Robbie Kerr of Great Britain, India in second place, Germany going well in third, and we're getting into the second pit window opening up. Here comes Great Britain in to make their second pit stop. So does India. He's coming in, and it looks to me as though Germany's coming in as well. It's a straightforward race between the crews once again. How many times has this determined the outcome of a race? Let's see if it does this time. India second as they came in. Great Britain took the advantage on the first round of stops. New tyres on both cars. Great stop by India. Where's Great Britain? There's Great Britain. He's out behind India. India has reclaimed the lead. Great Britain slots back in front of Germany, but there's real disappointment in the British crew and delight in the Indian crew. Away goes South Africa. He's still got the jack attached. Oh, it comes loose. Thankfully, no one standing in that part of the pit lane. Germany through Paddock Hill Bend. He's got a problem. Oh, big slide. And I think he's got a punctured rear tyre. He can't stop the car. He's off into the gravel trap at the hairpin. And a fine third place for Michael Amamuller was in prospect, but no longer. He's stuck in the gravel. New Zealand under attack here from Team Portugal. This is for 7th place. And Philippe Albuquerque trying to go around the outside. He's done it. Oh, that's brave stuff from the young Portuguese driver. But 8th place for New Zealand would still be enough for them to hold the runners-up spot in the championship. Oh, big slide for Indonesia. He's in 10th place looking for his first point of the season. But that's the Czech car just going ahead. Oh, not for long. They've made contact. The Czech car is out. And Sergio Hermanto's heading for 10th position. But up front, it's India coming out of the final turn, who's going to take the victory at Brands Hatch. The final race win of the season goes to Team India. And just look at what it means. Switzerland finish in 3rd, and China come home in 4th. It's a very special day for Team India. It's also been a great day for Robbie Kerr. 2 podium finishes, and there he is with the new champion, Ilyani of Team Switzerland. Narendra Karthikeyan knows how much this means to the team to go out on a high at the end of season 3. But there is the man who's taken the title for Team Switzerland. The final race of the year is notable for India's 2nd win, but also for that 10th place for Team Indonesia, their first point of the campaign. But the story of season 3 is the success of Team Switzerland. Ilyani was their only driver, and with a final tally of 4 wins, 2 seconds and 5 third places, Switzerland win A1GP World Cup of Motorsport. New Zealand take the runners-up spot again, and by the same margin of 1 point over Great Britain as in season 2. France are 4th, while South Africa finished 9 places better than ever before in 5th.
So that was the story of an enthralling season 3 of A1GP. Next year we'll see an exciting new dawn with all cars powered by Ferrari. With the new cars, new venues and new teams, A1GP continues to go from strength to strength. Join us when it all begins on September the 21st, 2008 at Mugello in Italy.